Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Bristol Blues Baseball here on the beat as your Bristol Blues return home tonight to take on the Brockton Rocks here at historic Muzzy Field on this hot scorcher of a day in Bristol, Connecticut. A good evening again, everyone. My name is Rick Ferraro, joined alongside my good buddy, as always, Mr. Mark Ferraro. And Mark, Blues have a winning streak. They've won 3 straight, looking to make it 4 in a row tonight.
Yeah, yesterday, comeback fashion over the Bravehearts. Were down late in the game, Rick. They scored 1 run in the 8th and then 3 the 9th, including a 2-out, 2-strike, 2-run home run by the Wild Thing, Mitch Williams.
And they try to keep the good times rolling here tonight, looking for their 4th consecutive win after starting the season with 6 straight losses. They will turn tonight to right-hander David Steele to try to pitch them to that 4th straight victory as the Bristol Blues take them field here at Muzzy Field. We gave you Steele's numbers. He's pitched in 1 game that came on June 7th against the Suns. Went 3 innings, allowed 3 runs, all of which were earned. 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, Rick, and you have to give credit to the Brockton Rocks as well, because coming into tonight's game, they're 4-2, and they've also won 3 straight. So, Rick, something has to give tonight. One of these teams is going to snap their short winning streak.
As Steele takes his warm-up tosses, we'll go through the Rock starting lineup. Aldrich DeJong will start in center field and lead off. Chris Berry, the second baseman, will bat second. Kyle Simon, the first baseman, bats third. Daniel Jung, the designated hitter, will bat cleanup. The catcher, Ricky Smith, bats 5th. Joe Silva is in right field. He'll bat 6th. Tremont Spears is in left field. He bats 7th. Tommy O'Hara is the third baseman. He bats 8th, and rounding up the lineup is the shortstop, Kyle Ruth. No relation to Babe as far as we know. He will be batting 9th and to face the right-hander David Steele.
Yeah, Steele, you go back to his start on June 7th. He lost to the Suns, did not pitch well, 3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, and struck out 2. So we'll look to bounce back tonight against a team, Rick, that we looked at their stats pregame. This is a team that definitely swings the bat. They have the best batting average in the league, hitting .290 as a team.
Certainly will be a tough assignment for the right-hander Steele, a native of Manchester, Connecticut, who currently attends Northeastern, just finished his freshman year at Northeastern. We'll give you his numbers a little later, but he did have a .500 record in his first year at Northeastern.
Yeah, he won 4 games, Rick. He beat North Florida, UConn, Hofstra, and New York Institute of Technology.
And that UConn start, which we'll detail a little later, was a very good start against a very tough opponent.
Yeah, very impressive. Some of those games that Steele pitched, and we'll look to do the same tonight, again, against a team that's been hitting the ball well all season long.
So we're now set to go here at Muzzy Field. Steele has finished his warm-ups. DeJong, the center fielder, digs in. The left-handed batter's box, Steele's ready. And the first pitch from Muzzy Field, a fastball in the outside corner, and it is 0-1. We're underway.
DeJong has the 5th highest average in the league, Rick, coming into tonight's game with a .409 clip. Pretty impressive.
Right-hander Steele kicks and fires way high and outside, right to the backstop. Josh Biersey, the catcher, had no chance at that one, so it's 1-1.
Yeah, Rick, and I always go back to that home run we saw a few days ago from Cooper Moroka. I think this really got the Blues offense going.
1-1 pitch. Zbierski tries to frame it, but the umpire was not fooled, and the count 2-1.
I mean, they've scored 12 runs, Rick, in their last 2 games.
Certainly a recipe for success. 2-1 pitch, misses high, 3-1. DeJong, as Mark said, hitting .409, that's 9 for 22. Has driven in 4 runs and has scored 5 times. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball swing and miss. And the count full to the leadoff hitter, 3-2.
Yeah, Rick, you definitely don't want to put him on here because all these other guys can hit in the lineup.
3-2 on the way. Slapped foul. Left field out of play.
I mean, they have so many guys when you look up and down this lineup, Rick, that are hitting over 500, 400, 300.
Certainly going to be a tough task for Steele today. Well, the Blues pitcher's been pitching well at home lately, as that one's fouled away again off the left side. Dong, your typical leadoff hitter. Small guy, only 5'9", 160. Plays his college ball at Florida Atlantic University. Full count, as this first batter has taken a while. 3-2 pitch, and he loses him. Pitch in the dirt, down and in, and DeJong will trot down the first base. So the first batter of the game draws a leadoff walk. Yeah,
now coming up is a guy, Chris Berry. Rick, yesterday hit a home run against the Martha's Vineyard Sharks, his first one of the season. And in that game against the Sharks, they scored 7 runs through the first 3 innings.
So as you said, here comes Berry, left-handed hitter, the second baseman. Steele sets at the belt. And a strike at the knees, 0-1.
Chris Berry, 11 at-bats so far this year, 6 hits. Hitting .545 on the season.
DeGong leading off first base. He's got 4 stolen bases in 4 attempts so far. That's hit on the ground at first. They will bobble at first base. They flip it to Steele, and it gets past him. So each runner will move up. DeGong rounding third, but he'll stop right there.
We talk about the miscues, Rick, and it occurs so far again in this one. Bobbled by the first baseman, throws not there, and now if you're the Rocks, you're set up perfectly. Second and third, nobody out, and they could really put a dent in this inning so far against Steele.
That'll bring up the first baseman, Kyle Simon. Simon on the season, 7 for 21. That's .333. Has a double, a triple, no home runs, and he's driven in 5. Steele in trouble here in the first inning thanks to an error. Runners at second and third, nobody out. That's hit on the ground to short. It will not get a run home. The infield was back, and they don't send the runner. So ground out to short does not yield a run. And the Blues might have just caught a break there.
Oh, they definitely did. I don't understand why he was not going home on the pitch. As you mentioned, the shortstop was back. Plenty of time for him to score, especially with the speed. So questionable decision right there. And we'll see. Maybe this will give a chance to the Blues to get out of this inning with no runs on the board.
So that'll bring up Daniel Jung, the DH. First pitch from Steele, fastball outside corner, the count 0-1. Yeah, not really understanding why he didn't, with the infield back, break for home immediately.
Yeah, he definitely hesitated. You can tell he was dancing a little bit and just didn't make the smart decision right there. Easily would have scored the first round of the game.
Steele sets at the belt, the 0-1. That's in the dirt, squirts away from Zbierski, but not enough for the runner at third to come home, so it's 1-1.
If you look at Jung Ricky in high school, he was ranked the 123rd overall prospect in California and number 29 outfielder by perfect game.
Currently attends University of Notre Dame.
Fighting Irish.
One of 3 members of the Fighting Irish that the Rocks have. 1-1 pitch, just misses the outside corner. The count 2-1.
On deck, Ricky Smith, the catcher, hitting .357, batting 5th for the Rocks.
Jung so far this year hitting .375. It's 9 for 24. 2-1 foul right back. And the count levels off at 2-2.
It's amazing when you read these numbers. The batting averages are so high among all these guys up and down the lineup. It doesn't stop.
And it's not as if they are under 10 at bats. At this point, they're over some people. Most are between 15 and 25 at bats or so. That's another fastball fouled straight back. Count still 2-2. Jung leads the team in RBIs with 7. As Mark, you said, its team could hit. It's .290 overall coming into this game with a .343 on base percentage as a team.
Yeah, have scored in bunches, including that victory yesterday against the Sharks.
2-2 pitch from Steele. That's chopped foul, still 2-2.
In that game yesterday, Rick, they scored 13 runs and had 3 hitters that had at least 2 hits in that ball game.
That'll get the batting average. The team collective batting average definitely up to .290. So far they have runners second, third without a benefit of a hit here. A walk and a 2-base error. 2-2 to Jung. Breaking ball just missed the outside corner, and it's full again, 3-2. The second full count. Steele has worked.
That was a close call right there. We'll see, because one of the themes so far this season has been a lot of the hitters are not happy with the call of the home plate umpire. And we'll see if that takes place again tonight.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out swinging, and the ball in the dirt. Zabierski will throw him out at first base. So Steele, from second and third, nobody out, is now one pitch away from 1 out away from getting out of this.
He got that big break on the ground ball to short. Definitely scored this. Should have scored the runner, and there gets the strikeout on the breaking ball, and now has a great chance to get out of this inning with no runs. And like you said, second and third, nobody out, but still has one more guy to face in Ricky Smith.
So that's a strikeout swinging 2-3, and as you say, Ricky Smith, the catcher, will stand in. Smith hitting .357. And there's a strike, 0-1. .357 averages 5 out of 14 with 1 RBI. Has 1 extra base hit, and it's a double. 0-1. Went around on that one in the count 0-2. So now Steele is 1 pitch away of getting out of a major jam.
That would be a great start for Steele. Kind of turn things around here. Just has to make that one more big pitch. If I'm him right here, be aggressive. Don't throw anything in the dirt.
0-2 on the way. Fastball, got him looking on the outside corner, and that will do it. Steele works out of a jam, second and third, nobody out. So after a half inning, Rocks don't score with Blues coming to bat here on the beat, the Bristol Blues Broadcast Network. We're back on the beat, Bristol Blues Broadcast Network. We go to the bottom of the first inning, no score as the Blues come to bat for the first time in this one. After David Steele with second and third, nobody out.
That was a great job right
jam
there by Steele. I mean, second, like you said, second and third, nobody out. Gets out of the inning with no runs. And you give your opportunity for your hometown team that's been swinging the bat great to score early.
Chris Davis will lead it off for the Blues, and that one misses down and in for ball 1.
Davis still getting the call tonight because of the injury to Logan Green.
He will be out for a little bit as Davis pops that one up right side. And that is foul and out of play, and the count 1-1.
Yeah, I think from what we heard before, Rick pregame in terms of Logan Green, probably won't see him for the next few days, maybe at all this week as the Blues are busy with all these home games coming up.
The starter for Brockton today is Matt Fogarty. This is his first appearance of the season for the Rocks. Left-hander. And that's it on the ground right side. Flip to first, and Davis will beat it out as the throw got past the Fogarty. So he'll reach, and they give him a base hit. Davis flying down the line, so he'll reach on the infield single.
He's a speedster. You gotta watch out for him now because he leads the team with 6 stolen bases so far this year, and you're bringing up a guy who has 2 home runs and is 1 home run away from tying with the league with 3.
And that person is Jake Frasca, who hit a bomb here on Saturday, and that one's hit in the air towards center. Tough to see with the sun, but the catch was made, so Frasca's retired. Boy, that sun, that glare out there in straightaway center field really limits your vision.
Oh, it's brutal, especially these night games early on. But I think about probably 7:45, close to 8, it will go down. But yeah, early on, it's tough to see out there.
Not too bad for the players, considering the sun is behind them. For
Right,
us
yeah.
looking directly into it, that was the reason for the delay there on that call. So 1 away. Now to bring up the third baseman, Mitch Gilmet. Lefty on lefty here. There goes Davis. Pitch a strike. Throw to second. Not going to be nearly in time as Davis picks up another stolen base.
Number 7 on the season. This is great for this guy in terms of if he gets on base, he's going. You got to be aggressive. You got to take those chances. And now you have an opportunity by Gilmet to drive in the first round of the game.
Count 0-1 on Gilmet, who so far on the young season is 2 for 9 with an RBI. As that one misses low in the count 1-1.
And Fogarty this year, Rick, will be a junior at Curry College playing for the Cardinals in Milton, Massachusetts. Last year as a sophomore, 3-3 with an ERA right under 4 at 3.99.
Davis leads off second. He's being held on. Awkward swing as Gilmet fouled that one away in the count 1-2.
Now, people are wondering what conference does Curry College play in. It's the CCC, which stands for the Commonwealth Coast Conference.
There's so many conferences I can't keep track of them anymore.
Oh, so many nowadays. And all these teams switching left and right.
1-2 the count on Gilmet. And Fogarty steps off as Davis was dancing over there at second.
And Fogarty had a great freshman year and also hit 3 home runs as an outfielder, which led the team for Curry.
Here's the 1-2. That one misses in the dirt. Count 2-2.
I don't think you'll see Davis steal third here. Don't want to take a chance and don't want to run out of this inning with no runs, just like what the Rocks did in the top of the first.
And with the Rocks trying to hold them on, there's a big hole on the left side of the field. Gets a big lead, and that one's hit in the air toward left down the line, and it drops in for a base hit. Here comes Davis, and he will score standing up. It's an RBI single for Mitch Gilmet, and yet another game where the Blues score a run in the first inning. I believe that's 4 straight games now. The Blues have scored a run in the first inning.
They're swinging the bats well, increasing that team overall average from 199, getting over 200 now. So it's a great job by Gilmet. The aggressiveness by Davis stealing second base, and just like that, they take advantage of the opportunity that presented themselves, and they get on the board quick, up 1-0 over the Rocks.
That's the second RBI of the season for Gilmet. And for Davis, he has now scored 4 runs on the year. That'll bring up Ben Maycock. Excuse me, Jeff Schanfeld, the DH.
Who drove in that run before Mitch Williams' home run in the 9th in their victory over the Bravehearts yesterday afternoon.
So 1-0 Blues. Here in the first, Fogarty sets at the chest and deals outside with a fastball, 1-0.
And do you know who Schanfeld drove in? The guy on first base right now, Gilmet.
History seems to repeat itself, doesn't it?
It does. Could do it once again here.
Schanfeld, a right-handed hitter. Fogarty, slow breaking ball, hits the outside corner, 1-1.
Yesterday in that game, Rick, sorry for 1 second, but John Natoli, got to give him a lot of credit pitching 3 innings of relief yesterday to keep the Blues close in that game.
And keep the bullpen fresh for today. Fogarty at the chest, the 1-1. That hits the outside corner. Fastball 1-2. Schanfeld 2 out of 15 on the season. That's 133 in 5 games. Has a double and has also driven in 2 runs. 1-2 into right field. That's a base hit. Gilmet goes first to third. And the Blues are set up for more runs here in the first inning. Runners on the corners and 1 out.
Great piece of hitting there by Shane Feld, going the other way to right field, moving Gilmet to third. And again, if you're the Blues, let's go. Let's score a couple more runs here. You have a hitter coming up, Ben Maycock, hitting .318 on the year. So a nice inning opportunity for the Blues to do some damage and get more runs on the board for them.
As Mark mentioned earlier, Fogarty has not pitched since the school year ended. So this is his first appearance of the season. Might be a tad bit rusty, which might explain some of his struggles here in the first inning.
Yeah, you would think so, but definitely has a chance to throw that pitch low, get a double play, and get out of the inning with only 1 run.
He's thrown 13 pitches so far as he checks the runner at first. A big lead over there. Thrown 13 pitches and he's gotten 1 out and has allowed a run on 3 hits.
Yeah, focus on the hitter right now. Don't worry about Shane Felt on first.
Pitch to Maycock, a breaking ball, drops in for strike 1. Seems like he doesn't have the trust early on with the fastball.
No, it doesn't. I
Going
think,
out for breaking
like you
balls.
said, first start of the year, a little bit of rust. Trying to see if you can find it here.
Probably location more than anything. Here's the 0-1. As Schanfeld started and stopped at first. The count 1-1.
Maycock has the 3rd highest average for the Blues this year. Again, hitting .318.
Runners on the corners, 1 out, bottom of the first. Maycock takes a curveball strike, 1-2. Definitely seems like he trusts the breaking ball more.
That was the best one we saw so far in this game. Does he go there again?
1-2 pitch, that's the only one you trust. He might do it again, try to probably start it more outside or in the dirt, get him to chase. So here's the 1-2. Hit on the ground right side. Let's see if they can turn 2. There's 1. They're going to get Maycock? No. So he reaches on the fielder's choice, also give him an RBI as another run scores, and the Blues take a 2-0 lead.
Nice hustle there by Maycock, avoiding the double play, beating it out at first. And the Blues with 2 runs in the first off of Fogarty. And it brings up a guy, again, who has the 3rd highest average on the team, and Ben Maycock. Oh, excuse me, Brandon Grover, who actually has the highest average on the team.
Grover hitting .375 in 16 at-bats, 6 of 16, with a double, triple, home run. That one misses outside, ball 1. He's also driven in 2 runs.
And has a .500 on-base percentage.
That'll definitely make you some friends on the bench there. Here comes the 1-0. That's drilled to deep right field, but that will twist foul into the corner, so it's allowed, strike 1. For Maycock on the RBI on the fielder's choice, the fielder's choice went 4-6. Maycock, that's his 3rd RBI of the season. And he's at first with 2 out, 2 runs in for the Blues, and their first turn at bat. Grover waits, and there goes the runner, and it's fouled off down the left side. Don't know if that was a straight steal or hit and run.
Whatever, though, I like it because there's 2 outs. Now there's 2 strikes, but you have a chance to get into scoring position and to Grover, the best hitter on the team, to drive him in and make it 3-0.
Maycock on the season is 1 out of 2 in stolen bases.
Do it again. Give him the green light.
1-2 to Grover. Hit weakly on the ground the second. And that will end the inning. But the Blues score twice here in the bottom of the first after 1 full inning of play. It's Bristol 2, Rocks nothing here on the Beat, the Bristol Blues Broadcast Network.
Do you have questions about your retirement? Ameriprise Private Wealth Advisor Christopher Fry can help. With the exclusive Confident Retirement approach, you'll work together to develop a retirement roadmap to get you where you want to go. Call Christopher today at 860-621-5657. His office is located at 100 Queen Street in Southington. The Confident Retirement approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Go to bristolbeat.com ads directory keyword retirement.
We're back on the beat, the Bristol Blues Broadcast Network. Welcome back to this one. Blues lead it 2-0 as we start the top of inning number 2 from Muzzy Field.
This month, on Friday, June 23rd, the Bristol Blues host the Martha's Vineyard Sharks at 7 on Pink Night. Jerseys will be auctioned off, and the proceeds go to the official health provider of your Blues, Bristol Hospital.
The Brockton Rocks will send to the plate in their second inning Joe Silva, Tremont Spears, and Tommy O'Hara, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in their lineup. Blues scored 2 in their bottom half of the first inning. An RBI single off the bat of Mitch Gilmet, and a fielder's choice RBI by Ben Maka. Chris Davis started it off with a single, a stolen base, which will put him in position to score on Gilmet's RBI.
If you're still right here, Rick, keep throwing zeros. Your team gives you 2 runs, don't give it back up.
Joe Silva will lead things off for the Rocks. Silva in 3 games is 4 for 10, 400 batting average. Has a home run and 5 RBIs. It's good production for his playing in 3 games. He's also scored 3 times. Steals first pitch. Misses down and away, ball 1.
Another guy with a high average, 400 on the dot.
Steele threw 22 pitches in the first inning. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That's fouled away down the left side and out of play.
And the Rocks, Rick, are led by first-year manager Tad Skelly, a native of Wolfsboro, New Hampshire.
Steele sets. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. And that one's a breaking ball. Misses down on the way, and the count 2-1.
And Skelly is currently the Northwestern University assistant baseball coach and was a director of operations at Notre Dame a couple years ago.
2-1 hit on the ground right side. Goyon with a nice play across his body, throw to first, and he got him. Excellent play by Max Goyon over the second base. And there is 1 away here in the second inning.
Nice play there by Goyon, makes the play, and there's 1 out. And now this brings up Spears, the left fielder, Rick, making his first start of the season for the Rocks.
Spears, a right-handed hitter. From Pineville, Louisiana. That one misses for ball 1.
You like those players who travel a little far, Rick.
Breaking ball, swing and a miss, count 1-1. He's 5'11", 215 pounds. Goes to Louisiana Lafayette. Another place I'd enjoy going, Louisiana, as that one drops in for strike 2. Have you been to Louisiana?
I have never been there, no.
No, me either. We should go sometime.
We should go after the season, right to Louisiana.
Absolutely. Count 1-2 on Spears. That one's chopped off the plate. And a fair ball, and he tags him out. Heads up play by Zbierski, jumping right out, catching it, and tagging him before Spears even left the batter's box.
I don't think of all the scenarios Spears pitchered for his first at-bat, that it would be a little slow roller right back to the catcher.
So he scored that 2 unassisted. Rare that we get to write that sometimes, and now Skelly will come down and get an explanation whether that was fair or foul.
Oh, yeah, that was clearly fair.
Did hop out in front of the plate as he's pointing to see, saying that it hit far back and then come forward.
And this is the big thing that we see Steele doing right now, throwing to the shortstop, not just sitting around the mound, throwing the ball up in the air, actually throwing it to someone trying to stay loose, while Skelly was trying to talk to the umpire at home plate.
So he returns to the third base coaching box after getting an explanation that he probably still doesn't like. So there's 2 outs, nobody on. Now bring up third baseman Tommy O'Hara. First pitch is a fastball outside, ball 1.
O'Hara, 8 strikeouts so far in only 17 at-bats.
And it looks like he's going with the classic stirrup look. As that one's fouled away, and that is the nice throwback classic look. The stirrups, doesn't he? I can't tell from here, but it looks like it's actual stirrups and not just the sock with the stripe on the side.
Oh, I love it. I can't get enough of it. The throwback.
1-1 the count on O'Hara. Steele deals. That's outside, 2-1.
And I'll mention one more thing about the manager, Rick, because you look at his resume, incredible. Had a .345 career batting average at Wheaton.
That one misses inside. The count 3-1.
And a 3-sport athlete in high school. Baseball, football, and hockey. The guy did it all.
A lot of multi-sport, multi-talented athletes. That one's hit up the middle and over the glove of Steele and into center field for a base hit. So O'Hara, who came into this game hitting .059, 1 out of 17, picks up a 2-out single. As the first hit for the Rocks this evening, he's on at first with 2 out.
Trying to get something going here with 2 outs. Bringing up the number 9 hitter, Kyle Ruth, playing shortstop today, and has 2 triples on the season.
Those 2 triples are 2 of his 5 hits he's gotten so far this year. 5 out of 23, that's .217. Also has a home run and 5 RBIs. This Steele hits the outside corner for strike 1.
And last year on this exact date, the Blues played the Rocks, but they lost in the 10th inning, 3-2.
1-1 the count. O'Hara leads off first. Steele deals. Breaking ball does not drop into the strike zone, according to the home plate umpire, so the count's even at 1-1.
That's crazy, though. 2 teams played exactly the same date last year.
Hopefully it has a different outcome this time around.
And so far, so good for the Blues.
1-1 from Steele. Fastball high, 2-1. Kyle Ruth, a native of Albany, New York, is a sophomore at Southern New Hampshire University.
I wonder if he spent a lot of his summers going to Giants training camp up there.
I sure would if I was him. Fastball high, snap throw to first by Zbierski, and he's back safely. Zbierski flashing his strong arm.
Yeah, great arm right there by the catcher. Keep a close eye on O'Hara, making sure he doesn't try to steal second base and get into scoring position. But, Rick, I would have never known that you like the Giants.
Zbierski showed off his arm. That one's hit in the air down the right field line. Long run. And it's caught. Outstanding play by Brandon Grover out in right field, and that will do it in the second. After 1.5 innings of play, 2-0 Blues. Here on the Beat, Bristol Blues Broadcast Network.
A show for the fans by the fans. Coming to Foxwoods Resort Casino June 10th and 11th. 2 exciting days of celebrities and talented comic book artists. Meet Hellboy's Ron Perlman and Gaten Matarazzo from Stranger Things. Ryan Hurst from Sons of Anarchy. Luke Cage's Theo Rossi. Ray Park and Spencer Wiley from Star Wars. Big Bang Theory's Kevin Sussman. Wrestling Hall of Famers Ric Flair, Amy Dumas, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Brutus Beefcake. And more. Join us for costume contests, Kids Con, and Star Wars trivia. Tickets are on sale now.
Welcome back to Bristol Blues Baseball here on the Beat, Bristol Blues Broadcast Network. 2-0. Blues lead this as we head to the bottom of inning number 2. Blues will send a last third of their lineup to hit here in the second. Josh Zbierski, the catcher, Kyle Pileski, the first baseman, followed by the second baseman, Max Goyon, who made a nice play. To get the first out of the top of the second inning. 2-0 as we start the bottom of inning number 2, as the Rocks pitcher Fogarty will try to settle down after a rough first inning. He allowed 2 runs on 3 hits in that first inning.
Yeah, just got to settle down here. You gave up 2 in the first. just try to ignore it and go on and not put up zeros and try to get the Rocks back in this game.
Zbierski, right-handed hitter. And Fogarty deals a curveball strike.
Sixth
Count
game
0-1.
this year for the catcher.
Fastball outside corner, and Fogarty's quickly ahead of the count 0-2.
So far this inning, getting off to a fast start. 2 quick strikes right away.
Threw 21 pitches in the first inning, one less than Steele did in his first inning. And Zbierski strikes out swinging, tagged out by the catcher. So strikeout swinging, 2 unassisted. And a quick first out as Zbierski goes in strikes.
I think he's got that breaking ball working now, Rick. We saw it the last couple of times in the bottom of the first. It worked, and there again to get Zbierski on the punch out.
Zbierski was hitting 167 before that at bat. 3 of 18, now was 3 of 19. That'll bring up Kyle Pileski as that one misses for ball 1. Pileski on the season, hitting 235, 4 out of 17. Has an RBI and a walk and a run score. 1-0, that one drops in for strike 1. He's definitely got a good handle of the breaking ball now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's definitely got that pitch working right now, and I'll expect him to continue throwing it because I think it's the only pitch working for him at the moment.
And that one misses again, the count 2-1.
And you always have to mention about Kyle Pileski, a native of Bristol, Connecticut, right here.
2-1 on the way. That one swung on and missed. The breaking ball was diving down and in. And the count levels off at 2-2.
If it's working, Rick, don't change it. Keep throwing it. I mean, they're swinging at all these pitches in the dirt. So I expect him to throw it here once again. Look for that K.
Fogarty deals. That one misses high and away. Looked like he tried to get too fine with the breaking ball and kind of threw it too hard and just hung up and went into the left-handed batter's box. So the count full 3-2. First full count Fogarty has gotten to. 3-2 pitch to Pileski. Breaking ball, and Pileski down on strikes looking. So back-to-back strikeouts for Fogarty here in the second.
And we look to have a nice 1-2-3 inning as he faces Max Guillon here, the second baseman. 18 at-bats so far this year, 3 hits and 1 RBI.
Now, that breaking ball that he got him to go down looking at, I think was the breaking ball he tried to get over on 2-2 that he threw too hard. This time, he threw it perfectly. That one misses outside to Max Guillon, the number 9 hitter for the Blues, who's hitting 167, 3 of 18. Has an RBI on the season. Right-handed hitter. Here comes the 1-0. Breaking ball, strike on the inside corner, 1-1.
Again, both teams coming into tonight's game hot, won 3 straight. So something has to change tonight.
1-1. That one's fouled away, and the count 1-2.
But it seems like we're always going to turn back to that home run a few days ago in the second game of the doubleheader. Koopa Maroka, who is not playing tonight, that home run in the bottom of the first, I think really got things going for the Blues as they've been hot ever since then.
1-2 pitch coming to Guillon, and that's hit on the ground weakly to third, but that will twist foul. That would have been a tough play for O'Hara over at third to try to get Guillon. But he won't have to make it, and Guillon will have to head back to the batter's box.
All it takes is that one big hit to change the fortunes of a team. And we saw that in the doubleheader on Saturday night. Nice shot into right center.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Guillon. Outside with a fastball on the count 2-2. 2-0 game, bottom of the second. Blues lead it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fogarty takes a deep breath, now delivers the 2-2 to Guillon. Spike that one in the dirt and the count full again, 3-2.
Chris Davis, the leadoff hitter for the Blues, on deck.
The Fairhaven, New Jersey native looking to get it to Chris Davis. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to short. Throw on to first, and that will do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Fogarty and the Rocks. We head to the third inning. 2-0 Blues on the beat, the Bristol Blues Broadcast Network.
The CV Mason Insurance Agency is a local, family-owned, independent insurance agency whose goal is to provide you with the best possible coverage at the best possible price. Their fully licensed staff will provide you the customer service you deserve. CV Mason, 254 Main Street, Bristol, insuring families and businesses since 1883. So rest assured, they aren't going anywhere. 860-583-4127. Online at cvmasoniinsurance.com. CV Mason, there when you need them.
And we are back here on the beat, the Bristol Broadcast Network here in the top of the third inning as the Blues have a 2-0 lead early in this game. And so far, you have to like what you see out of the pitcher, the right-hander, David Steele.
Steele looked like he had some trouble getting a little control early in the first inning, but it settled down. At second and third, nobody out. And on a ground ball to short with the infield back, did not send the runner from third, and that had to backfire on the Rocks as Steele came back and got the next 2 outs to keep it a scoreless game and allow his team to score 2 in the bottom half of the first frame.
Oh, for sure. If they don't win this game, you're going to look all the way back to the first inning, where second and third, as you said, nobody out, and they easily would have had a run, Rick, if the runner on third came home on that grounder to the short. I'm not sure why he didn't go. The shortstop was all the way back. He wasn't in.
It was definitely a questionable call. Maybe DeJong maybe decided he didn't get a good read on it. Maybe he thought that Steele was going to get it. It looked like just a clear, plain ground ball to short. But he just didn't do it. It's just a clear mistake, and so far it's coming back to hurt the Rocks as they're down 2.
And speaking of the guy you just mentioned, who's leading off? DeJong, the center fielder, number 14. Trying to get things started for the Rocks here in the top of the third. And the first pitch on the way from Steele. Swung and then belted to right center field, going back, and he looks up, and that ball is off the wall. And DeJong gets the second with a double to lead off here in the third.
Trying to make up for that mistake when not scoring in the first inning that we just talked about. That was a bullet to right center field. It carried him so hard off the wall that if Davis got too close, that ball might have gotten past him. So he gets a second standing easily with a double, and Steele's going to have to work out of trouble again.
And I'll bring up Chris Berry, as I mentioned before, hit a home run in yesterday's victory over the Sharks. And the first pitch to Berry. Inside, gets behind the catcher, and DeJong goes to third. So once again, he's on third with nobody out. But we'll see this time if he can get the first run of the game.
I think that's what Skelly's telling him right now at third base. There's nobody out, a ball on the ground, infield back, as long as it's not back to the pitcher. Go.
Yeah, make sure you tell him that, because once again, Frasca's back. He's not in, so if he hits it again in that spot, you got to send him. You got to go. And the 1-0 delivery to Berry. Call the strike, 1-1. On deck, the first baseman, Kyle Simon.
Steele so far this season. Last year with Northeastern.
The 1-1 pitch, swung on and popped up. We'll see if the third baseman can make the catch. And he does, and there's one away. DeJong stays on third, smartly there, and there's one quick out. So once again, maybe Steele can work out of a runner on third, nobody out jam.
That's a big first out. In that situation, if you're looking for pop-up or strikeout or possibly a ground ball back to the pitcher, and he got one of those. He got a pop-up to third. So a 1/3 of the way there is Steele.
A nice catch by Gilmet. So now runner on third, one out, top third. And that'll bring up Kyle Simon at the dish for the Rocks. And the pitch. Swung on a ground and foul, third base side out of play. And the count's 0-1.
As Mark mentioned earlier, Steele pitched for Northeastern last year, picked up 4 wins. One of them being against UConn, when 5 innings allowed only 1 earned run. 2 runs overall. Big win against UConn. Also pitched against NYIT with 7 shutout innings.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on again, ground and foul, third base side. And the count's 0-2. And you know what he said his favorite baseball moment was? winning the New England Championship at Cheshire Academy.
Local boy, another local boy, Cheshire, Connecticut.
Like Moroka.
Steele, despite having the 4 wins, had a 6.1 ERA with Northeastern last year.
And the 0-2 pitch to Simon. Again, foul third base side. So 3 straight foul balls in the same direction from Kyle Simon. As Daniel Jung on deck, who struck out back in the first, waiting for his chance.
Definitely testing Mitch Gilmet over at third base.
Yeah, with the pop-up and now 3 straight grounders foul. Getting a lot of work over there. And here's the 0-2 pitch. In the dirt. Nice take right there by Simon. And the count's 1-2.
And there is one of the more underappreciated facets of the game. Catchers blocking balls in the dirt, especially when there's a runner at third base. That was a fantastic play. It won't go that noticed too much, but that was a great play by Zbierski.
And the 1-2 popped up. First base side out of play. So Simon here, Rick, putting a nice at-bat. That's the fourth foul ball during this at-bat. 3 to the left side and now 1 to the right side.
We talked about it the other day, about how frustrating it can be when someone's fouling off so many pitches. You don't know where to turn to. It's tough to try to turn to somewhere. It's frustrating for the pitcher and the catcher trying to figure out what the pitcher wants to throw, thinking that the batter's going to foul it off again.
And the 1-2 pitch swung on the belt to deep to left field, going back, and he looks up, and you can kiss that baby goodbye. It's a home run for Kyle Simon, a 2-run shot, and the Rocks have tied the game up at 2 here in the third.
Well, DeJong over at third base can definitely score on that one, as Simon crushes that one straight away left field. Probably about, I would say, 15, 20 feet from the foul pole. So I would say that one's probably about 360 straight away left field. A shot by Kyle Simon, just like that. The game's tied at 2.
Yeah, what a shot. Just like that, even up at 2. And now John stepped up to the plate in the first pitch, swung on ground in the second. Goyon fields, throws to first, and there's 2 outs.
For Kyle Simon, that was his first home run of the season and his 6th and 7th RBIs, and now has tied for the team lead with Daniel Jung, who just grounded out in RBIs.
And now steps up to the plate is Ricky Smith, who struck out in his first at-bat.
Seemed like stealing that home run to Simon. He just mislocated a fastball.
First home run of the year comes at a pretty good time.
Seemed like a fastball that tried to get on the outside corner, just trailed over the middle of the plate. And when you have a fastball that just trails like that, usually not a good sign. Usually that baseball is not coming back.
And here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, grounded foul. And the count's 1-1.
We've gotten some hard swings off Steele this inning. Most of them have been foul ground balls, but that home run obviously was hit pretty hard. The Jong double to right center was a bullet off the wall, so he's giving up some hard hit balls here in the third inning. Second time through the lineup.
Joe Sylvia on deck. And the 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, called a strike, 1-2. And this definitely helps out Fogarty, Rick, who bounced back nicely in the bottom of the second. There's a 1-2 pitch, and that's a line drive base into left field. So the Rocks still looking to do some damage here in the third. Runner on first, 2 out, and that'll bring up Ricky Smith.
Another hard hit ball. Solid line drive into left field. And Steele's got to bear down here as he's giving up some hard hits this inning.
Correction, Joe Sylvia is up to plate. Ricky Smith on first.
Steele's already at 56 pitches and still looking for the final out of the third. So he may not be long for this game.
And the first pitch, swung on, grounded foul. And it counts 0-1.
You combine a high pitch count with guys fouling balls off and then throwing in the fact that guys are hitting you hard. Usually not a good combination.
No, and now you're thinking back to yesterday's game, like we talked about before, with the relief appearance of John Natoli, pitching 3 relief innings because, like you mentioned before, the bullpen's clearly is well rested for this game.
They may need to dip into it tonight.
Yeah, you would think so. And the 0-1 pitch, ground ball to second. Nice play by Goyon. He throws to first in time, and that will end the inning. But the Rocks do score on the 2-run home run by Kyle Simon. So in the middle of 3 innings, the Rocks and Blues are tied at 2. We'll be back on the beat. Bristol Blues Broadcast Network.
Sometimes we make mistakes in our lives, and you may require a bail bondsman. Joe from Fernari Bail Bonds will bond you out with fast, professional service. He'll treat you with the respect and dignity you deserve. No bond is too big or too small. So when you're in trouble, give Fernari Bail Bonds a call, and Joe will get you through your most difficult situation. Joe is not only your bail bondsman, he's also your friend. Attorney referrals are available. Call Fernari Bail Bondsman at 860-919-3129. Payment plans are available, and all major credit cards are accepted. Joe's the man to get you out of a jam. Go to bristolbeat.com's ad directory, search keyword bail bonds.
And we are back here now on the beat. We're here in the bottom of the 3rd inning as the Rocks and Blues are tied at 2 thanks to that 2-run shot, Rick, by Kyle Simon in the top half of the 3rd.
Yeah, Steele's going to need to figure some things out in the dugout after this one. Take a breather. He gave some hard hit balls in that inning. The Jong double and the home run.
Even the fouls during that innings, both went to the third base side, first base side, and we'll see what happens here in the 3rd. And so far, there's 2-2. So both pitchers have made mistakes, Fogarty and Steele, but still early in this one for both pitchers to bounce back, put up some zeros, and keep the game tied at 2. As Chris Davis will lead off for the Blues here in the 3rd. Got a base hit in his first at-bat and stole his 7th base of the season. And we'll mention this quickly, how his father, Rick, we did some research before the game, is Reese Davis, who we see a bunch of times on Saturdays for those college football game day shows.
College football, college basketball, longtime ESPN anchor over there. So we did some, as you said, did some research, found that out that his dad is Reese Davis. So, Mr. Davis, if you're listening, good evening, and your son is off to a good start tonight.
And here's the first pitch to Davis. Outside 1-0, and he's attending Princeton, so another Ivy Leaguer. We saw a lot during the weekend, and it continues here with Davis. And the 1-0 pitch inside 2-0.
Davis only played 8 games at Princeton last year. Had an injury that limited to 8 games. Hit .231 in those 8 games.
And this is clearly, like we said, the guy you don't want to get on first base because he's going to go right away. He's not going to mess around. And the 2-0 pitch, swung on and popped up. We'll see who calls this one. Looks like it's going to be the catcher, and he'll make the catch, and there's one away. So like we didn't see a couple days ago when there was confusion between the pitcher and the catcher, this time pitcher lets the catcher make the play, and there's the first out. If you're the pitcher, Rick, get out of the way.
You know, it seems like pop-ups should be the easiest thing in the world, but it's amazing the amount of teams, whether they be college teams, professional teams, see it all the way up in the major leagues. Just some people hate pop-ups, and some teams just seem like they struggle with them. But a nice job there by the Rocks.
And the first pitch to Fresca, up high, 1-0. So nice job there by Ricky Smith, calling off the pitcher, and there's one out. So Fogarty definitely, Rick, has settled down after that tough first inning.
Definitely is enjoying that breaking ball.
The 1-0 pitch, he throws it there for a strike, 1-1.
Seems like it has a lot of depth and movement to it. Once he first inning, he was trying to find it. He threw a couple good ones, but now he's definitely grown more confident with it.
Here's the 1-1 pitch, outside, 2-1.
Sun finally going down here. It's probably dropped to about 10 degrees in this room since the sun has gone down.
It has, a little bit. Oh, yeah, for sure. And now we can clearly see everything in the field. And the 2-1 again throws the breaking ball. Strike, and the count's 2-2.
Well, these Blues hitters are probably going to have to start making an adjustment soon. And I know it's a hard thing to do when if you're thinking, I'll look fastball and adjust to everything else.
And the 2-2, belted deep to left field. And it's caught by the left fielder there for the second out of the inning. So nice play by Tremont Spears. And there's 2 quick outs for Fogarty.
Seemed like it might have frozen Spears there for a little bit. It sounded like he might have gotten it in on his hands. But it looked like he started back for a second, then came in, was able to make the easy catch.
And that brings up Gilmet, who drove in the first run of the game for the Blues back in the first with an RBI single. And the first pitch on the way from Fogarty. Line foul, and the count's 0-1.
Gilmet has some great college stats. He's just finished his junior year at Central Connecticut. Hit .333 his junior year with .435 on base percentage.
And the 0-1 pitch, foul back 0-2.
So fantastic junior year for Gilmet. Some of the counting stats: at 2 home runs, drove in 33 runs, also walked 26 times in 46 games.
Productive numbers right there. And here's the 0-2 pitch, up high, 1-2.
Over his college career in 3 years, a .306 hitter with Central, .396 on base percentage, has driven in exactly 50 runs. And obviously can play all over the field.
And the 1-2 pitch, up high, 2-2. And in this game, Rick, we see him move up in the lineup a little bit, hitting third for the Blues tonight.
Yeah, the first time we saw him, he was kind of in the middle of the lineup. Now he's moved up a little bit. That obviously partly due to the injury to Logan Green.
The 2-2 pitch, swung on, third base side out of play.
But
Hey, you know what? If you're going to hit Rick, you're going to move up in that lineup.
And obviously, as he's proven through his college track record, he gets on base a lot. So you move him up, try to get him on base, and get him in the first 3 hitters of your lineup and get more guys on base. That's usually a good thing.
Especially when you have someone like Davis, who's aggressive on the base paths, a lot of opportunities to drive him in. And a 2-2 pitch, close, but I guess it was outside, and it counts 3-2.
Seems like Gilmet is one of those guys you just love playing with. He's also, as I mentioned, we've seen him in right field, we've seen him in left field. He's playing third tonight. Every team, no matter what level it is, looking for their Ben Zobrist, the guy who can play all over.
And here's the 3-2 pitch outside, and Gilmet, for the second time, breaches. And the Blues try to get some runs here with 2 outs.
And there's that on-base percentage again. Single and RBI his first time, now a walk this time, showed a great discipline laying off that curveball. That's a tough curveball, especially lefty on lefty, to lay off. But he did. Can credit to him for laying off, and he works a walk to try to help the Blues regain this lead here in the 3rd inning.
Yep, he made Fogarty work there. And now Schoenfeld, the DH, will get a chance. Had an RBI back in the first. Gilmet on first and the first pitch. Call the strike, 0-1.
For Gilmet, that was his 3rd walk of the season.
We talked about it before. The versatility, the flexibility to play any position on the field helps out any team. The 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, strike 2.
Gilmet didn't even play until Friday in Game 2. That was his season debut. So he's, in the limited time he's gotten here, he's definitely made an impression so far.
Ride the hot hand.
Now, get pretty sure Fogarty here is looking for the curveball.
And here's the 0-2 pitch. Gilmet goes, pitches outside, and he'll steal second base. So how about that? No throw attempt by Smith. So Gilmet's on second. And Schoenfeld looks to drive him in here with 2 outs. So a great chance for the Blues to retake the lead.
That is Gilmet's 3rd steal on the season already.
And the 1-2
has
pitch
not gotten caught.
up high, 2-2. So 3 stolen bases in limited time.
Which is a surprise since last season for CCSU. He was only 1 out of 7 in stolen bases last year. So he got caught 6 times.
Who was the catcher, Pudge,
Possibly.
in those college days?
But he's 3 for 3 in FCBL play.
The 2-2 pitch, foul back. Yeah, he's trying to catch the teammate Chris Davis. Back and forth. Because Davis is way ahead with 7.
Now, he doesn't seem as fast as Davis is,
No.
but he seems like he's the type of guy who will steal his base, who just has enough speed, who's able to pick his spot.
Like a smart base runner.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it seems like well, you saw him go first to third earlier in the 1st inning on a base hit to right. So he definitely seems like he's a solid base run.
The 2-2 pitch foul back. So right now, Rick, a lot of twos. It's 2-2. 2 outs. The score is 2-2. But the Blues want to change that here in the third by getting the third run.
Deuces are wild here at Muzzy Field.
On deck, Ben Maycock, who drove in the second run for the Blues back in the first. And the 2-2, and Gilmet goes to third, the throw to third, and he's in there.
Oh, but he struck out looking. Schanfeld down looking.
So Schoenfeld strikes out looking despite the steal attempt by Gilmet. We'll come back to the top of the fourth. The Rocks and Blues are tied at 2. We'll be back here on the beat. Bristol Blues Broadcast Network.
Spring is here, and so is the warmer weather. Are your tires ready to take on the road this spring? If you're in the market for tires and wheels, talk to the experts at Tire Depot. They have a huge inventory of tires from Cooper, Michelin, and Bridgestone. Tire Depot's friendly staff offers fast and reliable service Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 860-584-0225. Go visit them on Missile Avenue in Bristol or log on to their website at tiredepotct.com. Tire Depot, Central Connecticut's first choice for tires.
And we are back here at Muzzy Field for the top of the fourth inning on the beat. The Rocks and Blues are tied at 2. I'm Mark Ferraro alongside Ricky Fernaro. And that was a situation where Gilmet took an opportunity to steal third, but Schoenfeld strikes out. So the opportunity is wasted by the Blues. But both pitchers, Rick, have done a nice job so far early on.
And Gilmet actually did have that stolen. The field umpire, did call him safe at third. And the third baseman, Gilmet, and the umpire played it out as if nothing had happened at the plate, but they had called third strike on Schanfeld, who looked on in disbelief, not believing that that pitch had been called a strike on the inside corner. It was another breaking ball from Fogarty. So Schanfeld did have the base stolen, but it does not go down officially as a stolen base. It goes down as a strikeout looking.
And they're coming up for the Brockton Rocks is left fielder Tremont Spears. Remember, grounded to the catcher, unassisted. So we'll see what happens here as Tommy O'Hara's on deck.
Steele's got to settle down here. He had a rough third inning. The 2-run home run to Simon gave a bunch of hard hit balls.
And the first pitch, and that hits Spears, so he goes to first, and not the way you want to start off a inning, Rick, by hitting the first batter.
So clearly I should stop talking, since I said he should settle down, and of course the first pitch he drills him right in the middle of the back. So not a good, as you said, not a good way to start that one. To start this inning, right away, one pitch and a runner at first base.
And now bring up Tommy O'Hara, who got a base hit in this first at-bat. Spears on first, top 4, 2-2 here at Muzzy Field. And the first pitch is grounded to second. Goyon fields, throws to second for 1, back to first on double play. What a play there by the second baseman. And they turn 2, and just like that, 2 outs.
What two wildly different results on 2 pitches. First pitch drills the leadoff man right in the back. The second pitch, you get a tailor-made 4-6-3 double play. That is certainly good luck for Steele there, as you wondered what was going to happen after drilling a guy after having a rough third inning. We were thinking disaster, but instead he gets a double play.
And the first pitch called a strike, so nice 4-6-3. And just like that, 2 outs. And the pitch to Ruth, up high, 1-1.
Had a little bit of surprise. I know we're looking at the
Nice pitch there, 1-2.
that's the best breaking ball he's thrown all night.
It has, yeah. He has to match the breaking ball forward. And the 1-2 pitch coming. Foul back, 1-2.
Had a bit of surprise here in the Major League Baseball draft, which is going on tonight. Minnesota Twins, a lot of debate whether they take Hunter Green or Brendan McKay, the 2 dual threat players. They take neither one of them.
The 1-2 pitch. Call the ball 2-2. Yeah, they took Royce Lewis with the first pick, a shortstop and outfielder.
Quite a bit of a shock. They were going in, they were wondering what the Twins were going to do.
Pitch outside, 3-2.
And people thought people were considering Royce Lewis being picked first overall to try to save money with their later picks. Twins have a couple later selections in the 30s to try to save money.
And here's the 3-2 pitch to Ruth. Ground to the second. Goyon fields, throws to first, and that's the end of the inning. So, in the middle of 4 innings, it's the Rocks 2 and the Blues 2. Here on the beat, Bristol Blues Broadcast Network.
Would you let your child drive a car without taking a class first? Heck no. So don't let them graduate high school unprepared for the real world. This program introduces a student to themselves, unlocking their full potential, help your kids find their gift, leading to a successful life. Classes are available locally and nationwide. Sign up your student today, ages 10 and older. For more information, call 860-309-0182 or visit bristolbeat.com, add directory, keyword, Work It. Let Work It help you.
And we are back here at Muzzy Field in the bottom of the 4th inning as the Brockton Rocks and the Bristol Blues are tied at 2.
Attention Blues fans, come to Muzzy Field on Saturday, July 15th and Sunday, July 16th for the Food Truck Feast. I love food trucks so much. Enjoy all the food and drinks with lots of activities and entertainment to go along with those food trucks as well. Most important thing about this weekend, admission is free. Yes, that's right. Admission is free. So with all that food and all those drinks and all those activities, throw it on top of it, that admission is free. That is a pretty good deal. Don't forget, that's Saturday, July 15th and the 16th here at Muzzy Field.
So basically what we're telling you is to go back for seconds. You can do it. It's free. You got to go out there. It's a great event. The food, the drinks. It's going to be a fun day at the old ballpark for the Food Truck Fest. Again, July 15th and July 16th. But Rick and I will make an appearance there.
Oh, absolutely we will. And not only that, but that's right a couple days before the All-Star game here.
Right,
on
July
July
18th.
18th. So that's a good way to come to Muzzy Field. It's going to be a fun-filled week at Muzzy Field that entire week.
Yeah, with the All-Star game too, July 18th. Remember, get tickets online. But yeah, that food truck, yeah, we'll be there. Absolutely. And now Ben Maycock will lead off here on the bottom of the 4th, 2-2. And the pitch coming to Fogarty. Low, and the count's 1-0. And last year, Fogarty pitched for the Rocks as well. In 6 games was 1-0 with an ERA of 3.00. And the 1-0 pitch, nice breaking ball, and the count's 1-0. And there's one win. Rick, in relief, came against the Suns back on July 28th. Struck out 2 hitters in 1 inning to pick up his lone win of the 2016 season. And the 1-1 pitch to Maycock. Call the strike, 1-2. Not sure Ben liked that call.
Maycock drove in a run his first time up on a fielder's choice with runners out in the corners and 1 out. Hey, that was in the first inning.
And the 1-2 pitch. Ground to the 3rd. And that's a foul ball. Close. But we'll do it again.
It looks like there's someone walking out into the bullpen in left field. At this point, Steele is well over 60, probably close to 70 pitches at this point.
Yeah,
So
you're hoping if you're the Blues, Rick, maybe give him another 2 innings.
I'd like to see him at least get through 5.
Yeah.
At least through 5 and keep it at 2.
And the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on the miss in the dirt. Smith throws to first, and there's 1 away. So again, with the breaking ball there, so Maycock is down. And now bring up Brandon Grover, the right fielder.
That's 4 strikeouts now for Fogarty through 3 1/3 innings. It's allowed 4 base runners and those 2 runs that came in the first.
That breaking ball is working. At first, started a little off, but now he found it, and he's going to be using it pitch after pitch as Grover steps up. And the first pitch, outside 1-0.
Well, he certainly has. Seems like he is a good pitcher based on his numbers over at Curry. Had a 2.77 ERA in the 2016 season.
High pitch, call the strike, 1-1. But going back to that first overall pick with Lewis by the Twins, they're hoping he doesn't turn out to be another Byron Buxton, who's always seemed to struggle in his career.
The last time the Twins got the number 1 overall pick, it was back in 2001. That one worked out pretty well. That was Joe Mauer, the Minnesota boy that got drafted and had a great career going until concussions
The 2-1 pitch, call a strike.
and just the wear and tear of being a catcher broke him down.
And speaking of Hunter Green, he went second to the Reds. And a 2-2 pitch, grounded foul.
A couple of the guys playing here tonight and in this league may hear their names called possibly sometime later in this year's draft, possibly next year's draft and future drafts. You never know.
And here's the 2-2 pitch, foul back. I can't even imagine, Rick, what that phone call is like for these players once the team gives them a ring and says, you've been selected to join our ball club. I just can't picture it and to feel what that moment feels like.
I imagine it's kind of like Christmas morning and then turning up the amp to 12.
2-2 pitch. Again, foul back. 2-2. Maybe a combination of Christmas and New Year's.
Possibly. And that day, maybe one finally gets their license, he has the freedom to drive around. Probably a combination of all those days in a person's life.
The second hitter to be drafted tonight, 4th overall in the 2017 draft by the Rays, his first baseman, a guy who was mentioned to be considered number 1 overall to the Twins, Brandon McKay.
Out of Louisville. You know, as you mentioned, they don't know whether they want him as a hitter or a pitcher.
And a 2-2 pitch. Oh, there it is again. Strike 3. 5th K for Fogarty on the night.
Mr. Fogarty's getting pretty familiar and pretty close to Uncle Charlie. That curveball has been really good over the past few innings. Snapped off another good one there that hit the outside corner, and these Blues hitters go back to the dugout shaking their heads. That's the 5th strikeout for Fogarty so far.
And here's the first pitch. It's called the ball. Josh Zaberski, who struck out back in the second. And here's the 1-0 pitch. Call a strike, and it counts 1-1.
Zaberski struck out his first time up. Was tagged up by the catcher to complete the play.
The 1-1 pitch, swung on the miss, strike 2. So we'll probably see that breaking ball once again, Rick. I don't think he's going to go away from that one.
At this point, if they're not hitting it, and they probably at this point figured that it's coming, and they're still not hitting it, there's no reason to throw anything else.
Trying to strike out the side here in the bottom of the 4th. And the 1-2 pitch. Again, the breaking ball. So Zaberski's down swinging. Fogarty strikes out the side. And after 4 innings, the Rocks and Blues are tied at 2 here on the beat. Bristol Blues Broadcast Network.
Being arrested and charged with a crime is frightening and stressful. It is important to remain silent until you can speak with an attorney who knows how to protect you. At the law offices of Jody Zills Gagny, I take pride in smart and proactive criminal defense. I will guide you through the legal system and diligently pursue the best possible result within the framework of the law to get the charges dismissed, negotiate on your behalf, or fight for you at trial. Before you talk to anyone, call attorney Jody Zills Gagny at 860-582-4495 or go to the ads directory at bristolbeat.com and search keyword Jody, that's Jody with an I, for the law offices of Jody Zills Gagny.
Welcome back to the Beat, Bristol Blues Broadcast Network. Blues and Brockton Rocks tied at 2 as we head to the top half of inning number 5. My name is Ricky Ferraro alongside my good buddy Mark Ferraro. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Monday night as the sun goes down and cools things off a little bit after a real scorcher of a day all day today. Feels good that the sun goes down and we can all cool off a little bit.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, Rick, as it seems that everyone's listening by now, we have a little theme here about on this date in baseball history. Got to go all the way back to 1939. The inaugural induction ceremony for the Baseball Hall of Fame took place in Cooperstown, New York. Now, wait till you check out this list. The 11 living Hall of Famers were present, and I'll say them very quickly. Honus Wagner, Grover Cleveland Alexander, Tris Speaker, Nap LaJoy, George Sisler, Walter Johnson, Eddie Collins, Connie Mack, Cy Young, Ty Cobb, and of course, the Sultan of SWAT himself, Babe Ruth.
Seems like a pretty good class. I mean, all
Yeah,
considered.
it's okay.
Seems it's all right.
I mean, you talk about those 11 guys being there. It must have been truly amazing for anyone who was able to attend that ceremony. And to think a side note, that players were elected to the Hall of Fame beginning in 1939, but the first 4 classes were celebrated together in the summer of 39.
Well, there's definitely no competing with that class. I mean, there have been some good classes that have gone in. I could think of Mickey Mantle. I believe Mickey Mantle, Whitey Ford went in the same year. There was another year, I think Steve Carlton and Reggie Jackson went in the same year. Tony Gwynn and Cal Ripken went in the same year. First pitch is a strike. And the count 0-1 to Gong, excuse me. Steele looking to get through 5 innings. He's already set a season-high innings pitch. That's hit on the ground up the middle. And DeJong with a leadoff single. He's going wide turnaround first, but he will head back.
I believe he's on base for the 3rd time this game, Rick.
3rd time, 2nd hit. First time he led off the game with a walk. So he's on at first base with nobody out, and that will bring up the second baseman, Chris Barrett.
He's on his way to going for the cycle. Just needs the home run and the triple to complete that feat.
Where's the check over him on at first? Steele now steps off again as DeJong is getting some of his attention. Sets at the belt. Long set and now deals. Down and away, ball 1.
And also on this day in 1997, the first interleague game was played between the Giants and the Rangers in Texas, with the Giants winning that game 4-3. And by the way, if you were wondering, Barry Bonds went 1 for 3 in that contest.
That's looped in the air to center field. That's going to drop in front of Davis for a base hit. DeJong will hold at second. So the first 2 men are on with base hits to center to start off the 5th inning against Steele. And again, Steele is in trouble. He seems like he's been in trouble for almost every inning so far.
Yeah, a couple times so far in this game. You got to be careful because, as you documented, Rick, before, that pitch count is definitely getting up there. So you're wondering if he's tiring, and maybe we'll see that bullpen get loose a little bit soon, and maybe Ronnie Palmer will make a change.
He's about to throw his 71st pitch of the game with nobody out here in the 5th inning and runners on 1st and 2nd. That one's popped right side. Long run for anybody. And no one will get it anyway because it's out of play. The count 0-1.
And Simon was the hitter back in the 3rd, Rick, who hit that 2-run home run to tie the game up at 2.
So you know he's going to be careful with him. But if you're too careful with him, you may end up loading the bases with nobody out. Here's the 0-1. Curveball spiked in the dirt, blocked by Zbierski, and the count 1-1.
And you also have to be careful as well because if you make the wrong pitch, he could do it again. And you can look at that scoreboard and you'll see 5-2 Rocks. So you definitely don't want that here. Try to make a big pitch, get a double play like he did before, and try to work your way out of this inning.
Curveball in the dirt. DeJong is heading to 3rd. Throw by Zbierski, and he throws it into left field. And that is going to allow the Rocks to take the lead. Not a smart decision by Zbierski there as the ball got away and tried to make an off-balance throw, and he didn't even get it close to the 3rd baseman, Gilmet, and he just threw it right into left field. So a run scores, and the Rocks take a 3-2 lead.
And now they're really set up here to do even more work with 2nd and 3rd, like in the 1st inning, nobody out. We'll see if Steele can somehow work out of this inning and only give up 1 run, but it's going to be tough with Simon at the dish.
That's an error on Zbierski. 2-1 count on Simon. Fastball hits the upper part of the strike zone. The count even to 2-2.
So you had the bad pitch, went off the catcher a little bit, and then the wild throw into left field, scoring DeJohn and giving the Rocks the lead.
Not a good decision there. His momentum was taking him toward the first base dugout. Probably better to just put that one in your back pocket. Another one in the dirt, and that was 3-2. And things just keep getting worse for the Blues here as runners are at second, nobody out, and a 3-2 count on Simon.
And Daniel Jung, the DH, the cleanup hitter, on deck.
Steele sets at the belt. Here comes a 3-2 pitch, and he yanked it outside, and it's ball 4.
So here we go here. Bases loaded for the cleanup hitter.
First and second, nobody out. As Mark mentioned, Daniel Jung coming to the plate. So a single, a throwing error by the catcher, and a run, and now a walk. And now Zbierski blocks another one in the dirt as Steele is struggling here in the 5th.
Yeah, what I meant to say was if Jung gets on base, then the bases will be loaded. That's what I meant.
We got you. So 2 on, nobody out. 1-0 count on Jung. He's 0 for 2 today. High fastball swing and a miss, and the count 1-1. Jung struck out his first time up. Last time up, he grounded to second. Pitch number 80 coming up from Steele, 1-1. And pitch number 80 is low, and the count 2-1. Not a good strike to ball ratio. 50 strikes, 30 balls. And he's up to 80 pitches with no outs here in the 5th in a run in.
You have to find some pitch here to work and to get out of this inning with only that 1 run on the board.
This one's popped up in the infield. Frasca is camped under it and makes the catch. And there is one away.
See, there you go. There's the big pitch he got. Now there's one. You still got work to do. Try to get that big double play ball. And if you can get out of this inning, Rick, with only 1 run, you sign up for that at any time.
That'll bring up the catcher, Ricky Smith. Smith is 0 for 2, struck out looking in the 1st inning and grounded out to second in the 3rd. That one inside. Nice play by Zbierski just to prevent that from going to the backstop, and the count 1-0.
On deck, Joe Sylvia, the right fielder, who's grounded to Max Guillon twice in this game.
Steele has slowed the pace down a little bit. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. He on the ground to third, but foul. As that trickles into the left field bullpen, the Blues bullpen on left, which currently has no one warming up in.
That's very surprising. You would think by now, especially with a high pitch count, that you would see some activity out there. So maybe if he walks him or if he gets on here, we'll see that bullpen get loose, but I would think he should be getting ready by now.
1-1 the count on Smith. Breaking ball misses down and away, 2-1.
Especially with a well-rested bullpen, Rick, as we talked about a couple times already on the broadcast, you would think someone, anyone, would be up right now, but I guess he's trusting the righty to get out of this inning like he did in the 1st.
Steele taking a long time to get the sign, finally gets one he likes, sets at the belt. Here comes a 2-1, runners go. Zbierski's throw to third, and that one gets into left field. Another run will score. Simon moves to third. Another error in the inning by Zbierski. 3 errors in the game for the Blues, and it is 4-2 Rocks.
And this is exactly what the Blues were doing early on in the season before their 3-game winning streak, committing a lot of errors, miscues throughout their game, and you're seeing Zbierski 2 times this inning throw the ball into left field and runs scoring. So again, the Rocks look to add more runs here in the 5th.
The Blues will have the infield come up about halfway. And Smith will work a walk. So Steele is definitely struggling here in the fifth inning, 2 runs in. And he's not been helped out by his catcher, Zbierski, with 2 throwing errors, twice throwing the ball into left field. That has directly led to 2-run scoring.
Now, as a former catcher, Rick, what do you think was going through his mind making those 2 throws? Do you think he was just rushing it?
The first one was definitely ill-advised since that was a wild pitch. His momentum was taking him to the first base. Another runner goes again, but it's fouled away.
You might as well, hey, listen, if he's going to still make those off throws, you might as well, every time there's a guy on base, just send him.
So the first one definitely was not a throw that should have been made. He had no balance and just kind of threw it wildly into left field. Should have just let him take the base. The runner going to Steele here that led to the second run scoring, that was definitely just a rush throw. Probably trying too hard to help out his pitcher who was struggling. And that was just a rush throw, and he just completely yanked it. That one misses high, 1-1. So that was definitely what happened there on the second one. Just completely rushed it. I mean, he has a strong arm. We saw him throw out 2 guys on Saturday. Now that one lined to the left field. There's a base hit, and that's going to be another run for the Rocks. RBI single for Silva. And it is now 5-2 Brockton, as now the Blues bullpen gets up in earnest as someone is throwing down there to Mitch Williams.
And that pitcher who's throwing right now in the bullpen just started. So he's not ready to come in at the moment. So if you're Steele, you still got to work out this inning yourself. He's probably going to last the whole inning. And he's got to find some way, Rick, to limit this damage because it's already 5-2 and it could get out of hand quick.
Pitch is a strike to Spears. Spears 0 for 1. Was hit by a pitch his last time up.
And 3 runs already here for the Rocks.
Here's a swing and a miss count, 0-2. For Silva, that was his 6th RBI of the season. Came into this game hitting 400. He's 1 for 3 today. Here comes the 0-2 to Spears. That one is fouled just to the right of us. Count remains 0-2.
Well, the Blues offense, Rick, which has been hot the last couple games, 12 runs in their last 2 contests, will once again look to come back. Listen, they did it yesterday against the Bravehearts, and we'll look to do it once again here tonight against the Rocks.
0-2, curveball in the dirt, counts 1-2. Steele now over 90 pitches, so this likely is his last inning. Still only 1 out here in the 5th. 2 errors in the inning by Zbierski. That led directly to 2-run scoring, trying to get a man out the third, threw the ball in the left field. 1-2, Spears down on strike, swinging. And there are 2 away here in the 5th.
Nice pitch there by Steele to get Spears on the strikeout. And now 1 more out away. This is huge. It's 5-2. A base hit here likely means that the Rocks will go up by 5.
That'll bring up the third baseman, Tommy O'Hara. He singled in the second inning and hit into a double play in the 4th. Breaking ball misses down and in, and the count 1-0.
Big pitch in the game here. They already scored 3. You don't want to make it at least 4 or 5.
The man warming up with the bullpen is a right-hander. Can't quite see the number yet. That one's a strike in the upper part of the strike zone, 1-1.
You gotta get binoculars in this booth.
Well, from our angle down here, we have a window to deal with and a light tower that's right in the way. So you can see that it's a right-hander, just not who exactly it is. Binoculars probably would help. 1-1, breaking ball misses down and in, 2-1.
Well, they have a lot of righties, so we can take a guess. or at least limit the lefties. Keith Grant. It's not him.
So that'll narrow it down, at least somewhat.
Or Nick Rubino, Michael Gennaro. It's not them.
Here comes the 3-1 Osu O'Hara, and that's outside 3-1.
Again, what I meant to say was, if O'Hara gets on, the bases will be loaded, and for a chance to go up 7-2.
3-1 pitch coming up to O'Hara. And on the ground to first. And it's bobbled. Goyon comes up with it, throws to first, and they got him! So an odd 3-4-1 to end the inning. 3 runs for the Rocks. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning, 5-2. Here on the beat, the Bristol Blues Broadcast Network.
Being arrested and charged with a crime is frightening and stressful. It is important to remain silent until you can speak with an attorney who knows how to protect you. At the law offices of Jody Zills Gagny, I take pride in smart and proactive criminal defense. I will guide you through the legal system and diligently pursue the best possible result within the framework of the law to get the charges dismissed, negotiate on your behalf, or fight for you at trial. Before you talk to anyone, call attorney Jody Zills Gagny at 860-582-4495 or go to the ads directory at bristolbeat.com and search keyword Jody, that's Jody with an I, for the law offices of Jody Zills Gagny.
Welcome back to Muzzy Field on the beat, Bristol Blues Broadcast Network. 5-2 Rocks as we head to the bottom of the 5th after a 3-run top half of the 5th inning. Top of the 5th ended in a crazy way. A hard hit ground ball off the bat of Tommy O'Hara went off the heel of the first baseman, Kyle Pileski. Max Goyon was backing up a second baseman who got right to him, flipped it to first base to steal for the rare 3-4-1 play at first base. New pitcher coming in for the Rocks. That's the right-hander Drake Titus from Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. 5'9", 181 pounds. One of our military schools, goes to Army.
Wow.
So Titus comes into the game to replace Fogarty.
That curveball was working for him after that first inning. Settled down nicely, got a lot of strikeouts. So Fogarty, I think if you're him, Rick, you have to be impressed with the outing by the lefty.
So Fogarty will not be eligible for the win as he only goes 4 innings. His final line, 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk. He ended up striking out 6, thanks to large part, as Mark said, that great curveball that he had. So Titus comes in. He's played in 1 game, but has not pitched in a game. He came in to run on June 1st against the Sharks. So this is his first pitching appearance of the season. So he'll get to face 8, 9, and 1 in the Blues batting order. That's Pileski, Goyon, and the top of the order in Davis. So Titus against Pileski. Here's the first pitch. Fastball outside corner, 0-1.
Well, if you're the Blues right here, Rick, definitely try to chip away, get 1 run at a time, and get closer into this game and try to rally once again like they did yesterday.
0-1 swing and the miss. Count 0-2 looked like an off speed that Pileski was just out in front of. Pileski struck out looking in his first at bat. That was in the 2nd inning. Drake Titus, the 0-2 pitch, foul. Right side, goes off the roof that covers the bleachers along the first baseline.
5'9", throwing gas.
again going with the stirrups look. It's the second member we've seen with the stirrups look. Here comes the 0-2. Fastball high, 1-2.
On deck, the second baseman, Max Goyon, who's made a nice couple plays out there today.
Certainly has, especially that one that ended the top of the fifth. Breaking ball, looped right side, and caught in foul territory by the first baseman, Kyle Simon, for the first out at the bottom of the fifth.
We'll take a look at the FCBL scoreboard tonight for Monday, June 12th. Right now, the top of the seventh, the Martha's Vineyard Sharks lead the Seacoast Mavericks 6-3. In the bottom of the seventh at Doyle Field, the Dirt Dogs trail the Pittsfield Suns 6-4. And the top of the sixth, Rick, the North Shore Navigators lead the Bravehearts 7-1.
See that Sun score, trying to get back in the win column for the first time this year.
Right, they lost yesterday, their first game. They're still having a great year at 8-1, and so far it looks like the Navigators might pick up their first win of the 2017 season.
1-0 pitch swing and a miss by Goyon on the count 1-1. And every time I hear the name Navigators, I always go back to the Norwich Navigators, the minor league team back in the day.
Yeah, we were there many times.
Yes, former AA affiliate of the Yankees. As that one misses high, 2-1. So a lot of good players come through Norwich Navigators. Playing at Chris Dodd Field over there in Norwich, where the single-A Connecticut Tigers now play.
Alfonso Soriano.
2-1, that one to the backstop, and the count 3-1.
He's the first one that comes to mind when I think about the Navigators.
Now, this may seem hard to believe, but I have an original Norwich Navigators Alfonso Soriano baseball card.
Oh, you do?
In my possession, sitting, I'm sure, somewhere in the back of a closet.
Yeah, you got to keep that close by.
Here comes a 3-1 pitch. That's lined down the right field line, but will twist foul into the Rocks bullpen in that right field corner, so the count full 3-2.
Hey, here's a guy who had two different stints with the Yankees. Very productive, especially early on in 2001. Got so many big hits in the postseason.
2002 almost had a 40-40 season. Goyon down on strikes as Drake Titus records the strikeout for the second out here in the fifth. And we go back to the top of the order for the Blues, and that is Chris Davis.
Now, this is the guy who's got to get things going here for the Blues, just like he did in the first with the hit and then the stolen base. Let's see if he can follow the same fate here in the fifth and try to get the Blues back in this one.
As Mark mentioned, had the hit and stolen base in the first inning, scored a run, and he fouled out to the catcher Smith in the third as he takes one high, 1-0. Davis has gotten a hit in the last 3 games. As that one again goes by to the backstop, the count 2-0.
And you know what, Rick? He's going to play a lot more until we see the return of Logan Green into the lineup.
Certainly will get a lot of playing time. So far, the only members of the Blues to play center field have been Davis and Roy, but he is a great replacement for Green at the leadoff spot as the fastball hits the outside corner, 2-1.
And going back to the Suns for 1 second, you mentioned their loss yesterday. It came to the Seacoast Mavericks at Larry Field. The Suns lost 2-1.
2-1 to Davis is outside, and the count now 3-1.
And in the East Division, it's being led by the Silver Knights right now, who are 6-2 and have won 2 straight.
3-1. Slap to left field. Heads up down there in the bleachers. As everybody looks like they're okay, and now we're just trying to go on a scavenger hunt for the ball. So the count now full on the Blues center fielder.
Big pitch right here. Does Davis get on once again to get things going for the Blues?
Drake Titus sets at the chest. Here comes the 3-2 to Davis. Slapped again, left field, and out of play. So we'll do it again on 3-2. 5-7-0 for the Rocks, 2-3-3. The line score for the Blues. Three-two coming on the way, and that's again fouled off as Davis has now fouled off 3 straight with a 3-2 count.
Making Titus work here on this 3-2 count. We've seen a lot of foul balls tonight, Rick.
Certainly takes their toll on a pitcher. Titus has thrown, this will be his 19th pitch. Breaking ball high, so Davis, all that hard work fouling off pitches paid off for him as he will trot down to first base with a walk. Second time he's been on base in 3 plate appearances. So he's on with 2 out, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Jake Frasca.
And Frasca has a great chance, Rick, here to maybe make his 3rd home run of the season. Could not come at a better time and cut this lead to 1 here.
Chris Davis, that was his 5th walk of the season. There he goes on the first pitch. Breaking ball high, throw to second is offline. And Davis with his 2nd stolen base of the game.
You gotta love it. He keeps at it. Doesn't matter what the situation is. This guy goes on the first pitch. He doesn't wait. He's aggressive. And just like that, he gets into scoring position for one of the better hitters on the team.
So now 8 for 8 in stolen base attempts this year. As runner at second, 2 out, Frasca takes 1 outside, ball 2.
That's 100%. That's the only math I can do.
I'm with you. That sounds about right.
But 8 for 8, wow.
So he leads off second, 2 out. Titus with a 2-0 delivery. Fastball down on the way, 3-0. So Titus was rolling along, and now Smith is going to have Cole out and try to calm him down to prevent the tying run from coming into the plate.
And that would be Mitch Gilmet, who's on deck, and a guy who's been pretty hot at the plate for the Blues. So if you give him an opportunity to drive in some runs, next time we look at that scoreboard, this game will be a lot closer.
See, I think Davis felt a little uncomfortable with Gilmet's stolen base, thinking he'll get a little too close to his lead, so he says, you know what, I'll steal 2.
That's what I'm saying. He's got to have a little bit competition on this team in terms of stolen bases.
So he currently leads 8-4 in that category over Gilmet. Here comes a 3-0. And that trip to the mound did not get the desired result Smith was looking for. But the Blues get another walk, back-to-back walks to Davis and Frasca. And it's 2 on, 2 out for Mitch Gilmet.
All right, here we go. Great opportunity for the Blues to score some runs here and get back in this game. They can't blow this opportunity here, Rick. You've got to get at least 1 run across. You can't leave these 2 guys on the pond.
And Gilmet, past few games, seems like he's got a good knack of delivering hits when his team needs them. And an RBI single back in the 1st inning, and he walked and stole a base in the 3rd. Came up with a big hit in Game 2 of the doubleheader on Friday to get the Blues off on the right foot, which eventually led them to their first win of the season.
And since then, they have not lost.
And Gilmet trying to make sure that they don't lose this one. Runner is on first and second, 2 out in the 5th. Blues down by 3. First pitch is swung on and foul left side. And out of play, count 0-1.
But see, the one thing we'll look back, Rick, on whoever loses this game, whether it's the Rocks, we'll look at that opportunity in the 1st that they had to score, didn't get any runs. And when you look at the scoreboard, Rick, 3 errors. You can't have that happen if you want to win this one.
2 on, 2 out. Titus to Gilmet. Hit on the ground right side. That's going to get through for a base hit. They are going to wave Davis around 3rd, and he is going to score standing up. Mitch Gilmet comes through again. An RBI single, his 2nd RBI of the game. And the Blues now trail by 2. It's 5-3.
There you go. That's all he had to do there. Ripped it to right field. Davis, you knew he was going to score. No one's slowing him down. And just like that, they can still put some more runs on the board in terms of Schoenfeld, who's at the dish. And now we'll see maybe a pitching change coming up here.
And Frasca heads up base running, goes 1st to 3rd on the slow ground ball. Perfectly placed between 1st and 2nd. And it looks like they're just going to have a conference on the mound to calm Titus down, who recorded the first 2 outs quickly. And then walk, single. And just like that, it's 1st and 3rd, 2 out. And a run in.
Those walks always come back to bite you. Doesn't matter when it happens. First batter of the inning, 3rd batter of the inning. If you walk someone, Rick, that never goes well.
And 2-0 walks really kill you because you had 2 outs, you're 1 out away of getting out of it, and instead, you give the team some free life. No one currently warming in the Rocks bullpen. So it's 1st and 3rd, 2 out. As Mark mentioned before, Jeff Schanfeld, the DH. Throw to first to check on Gilmet. First pitch to Schanfeld is low ball 1. Just like that, Titus, 26 pitches, 13 strikes, 13 out of the zone. 1-0 on the way. Fastball foul right back over our heads and back onto the field. And the count even at 1-1.
Now that one I felt was coming our way.
Well, I felt the vibration coming through off the top of the stadium. It's count 1-1. Blues looking for more runs after getting one, and they check on Gilmet again. Gilmet has already stolen a base.
He's looking to match Davis once again, but I think it'd be a little risky here if he does go because there's 2 outs, and you don't want to make the 3rd out at second base.
Fastball outside corner, and the count 1-2. First and third, 2 out. 2-run game here in the 5th. Titus sets at the chest. Here comes the 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Slow breaking ball struck him out, but the Blues get a run to trim the lead to 2. We head to the 6th inning here on the beat, the Bristol Blues Broadcast Network.
Do you have questions about your retirement? Ameriprise Private Wealth Advisor Christopher Fry can help. With the exclusive Confident Retirement approach, you'll work together to develop a retirement roadmap to get you where you want to go. Call Christopher today at 860-621-5657. His office is located at 100 Queen Street in Southington. The Confident Retirement approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Go to bristolbeat.com ads directory keyword retirement.
Welcome back to Muzzy Field here on the beat, the Bristol Blues Broadcast Network. Blues trail this one 5-3 as we head to the top of the 6th inning.
And the Blues are back in action tomorrow for a quick turnaround at 6:30 on the road against the Dirt Dogs at Doyle Field. And the next home games, make sure you come out to Muzzy Field on Wednesday at 7 as they'll take on the Brave Hearts of Worcester at Muzzy Field. And speaking of the Brave Hearts, Rick, they won the FCBL championship back-to-back years in 2014 and 2015.
New pitcher for the Blues is the sidewinding right-hander Ian Halpin. 6'2" right-hander, 195 pounds, from Glastonbury, Connecticut. Plays his college ball in the state at Fairfield University, one of 2 members of the Fairfield University baseball team on the Blues, the other being Mitch Williams, the catcher, who is not playing right now. He's pitched in 1 game. That came on June 8th at the Suns in a 13-3 loss. Pitched an inning and a third, allowed 5 runs, but none of them were earned, and allowed 7 hits. Did not walk a batter, and he struck out 3. So an odd line in his 1 pitching appearance this season. So he'll come on in the 6th inning as the evening for Steele is over as the first pitch is a strike from Halpin. Steele went 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs. Only 2 of those runs were earned. He walked 3 and he struck out 3. 0-1, Halpin deals low, ball 1.
From Glastonbury, Connecticut.
Fastball outside corner in the count 1-2. He's got a whipping action, goes right across his body. Cannot be a easy at bat. for a right-handed hitter. That one misses down and away, 2-2.
No surprise that we see another relief pitcher with a little bit of a funky delivery on the mound when they come into the game.
Hit on the ground to short. Frasca fields. Throw to first. And he got him. Just able to nip Ruth. So one away here in the sixth as Halpin records the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the top of the order in DeJong.
That play was a lot closer than you would have thought, Rick.
Seemed like Frasca took his time. First pitch, fastball strike 0-1. He definitely took his time fielding that one, and that almost cost him. That one's popped in the inner center. Gavis came in, now goes back, and they retired John. And that's the first time they've retired him, and I'm sure they're glad not to have him on the bases. Before that at bat, he had walked once, singled, and doubled.
And I'll bring him now Chris Berry, who had a hit back in the fifth.
Two out, nobody on here in the sixth. And Halpin deals a strike.
Working quick, keeping that pitch count low here in the top of the sixth.
Halpin has a brother who also plays college baseball. Plays his that one swing and a miss. Good off speed pitch 0-2. His brother Jack plays for Babson. As Mark mentioned, went to Glastonbury High School. Outside, ball one. Had a 1.4 ERA as a pitcher, and as a hitter at Glastonbury during his junior year, hit .491. That one popped left side. Will it stay in? Gilmet gives it a look, but it's out of play, and the count remains 1-2.
Did you say 491?
491 hitter his junior year as a hitter, and as a pitcher, 1.40 ERA. As a senior, hit .430 and had a 3 ERA. So had a bad year on the mound, apparently.
Yeah, he can do it all.
Here's the 1-2. Hit on the ground right side. Goyon dives, but it gets under his glove and into right field for a base hit. So a single for Barry, his second straight at bat with a hit.
Second hit for Barry on the night.
That'll bring up Kyle Simon. Simon 1 for 2, grounded out to short. His first time up in the first. Hit a 2-run home run in the third and walked and scored in the fifth. Halpin deals, breaking ball just misses the outside corner. The count 1-0.
His home run back in the third, tie the game at 2.
That was one of the innings where we saw Steele kind of lose it, where he gave up some hard hit balls. That home run being the hardest of them all. Here comes the 1-0. Chopped foul off the foot of Simon to the backstop. Count 1-1.
Try to keep it 5-3 here and give the Blues offense an opportunity to come back in this one like they did yesterday. They got 1 run in the fifth on that big hit.
Now it's also the same score it was entering the 9th inning yesterday. That one's fouled off down the right field line and out of play. Going into that 9th inning, it was a 5-3 game.
Yes, it was, and a lot of drama with that 2-out, 2-strike home run by Mitch Williams to give the Blues the lead. And our good buddy Tommy Curtin have the nice 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 9th, including a strikeout, to get a second save on the year.
1-2 from Halpin. Hit on the ground left side. Frasca cannot get it as it goes into left field despite a diving effort. So back-to-back singles past the diving tries of infielders for the Blues. So 2 on, 2 out. That'll bring up Daniel John.
Yeah, we can come to the conclusion, Ricky, of this game that this team can definitely hit.
They've already gotten 9 hits so far. We're 2 outs in the 6th inning, so they're knocking on the door of double-digit hits. Halpin will try to bear down here as that one gets past Zbierski, and that goes to the backstop, and the runners will move up.
Yeah, he's having a tough day behind the plate. You saw those 2 miscues a couple innings ago, and now that one, which allows The Rocks is set up with second and third and 2 outs. And the base hit here will make it 7-3.
So he had, obviously, as Mark said, had the 2 throwing errors that led to 2 runs in the 5th inning, and now did not get down to block that one as that one hit the inside corner 1-1. Five-3 game. Blues trail this in the 6th. Halpin trying to work out of this with 2 outs. That one's fouled back to the screen. The count 1-2.
And the catcher, Ricky Smith, on deck.
And the perils of being a catcher, having to be on deck with 2 outs. Don't know if you're hitting or going to go back into the field as he's got his shin guards on. Here comes the 1-2, and that one gets by. And that's going to lead another run to score. Zbierski having a rough day back there as the ball gets past him, allowing another run to score. And the Rocks increase their lead back to 3 after the Blues got it within 2. It's a 6-3 game.
That's the 4th time today we've seen that. You can't have that happen.
That one's hit on the ground to second. Goyon can't get it, and it gets through into right center field for a hit. Another run scores. And Jung will hold it first with an RBI single. And it's 7-3 Rocks.
Take advantage. What are you talking about? Those miscues. Now, you don't see an error by the catcher on the scoreboard, but again, 4 different times that happened with Zbierski. Just like that, 7-3.
So that goes as a pass ball that led to the first run of the inning scoring. Now the RBI single makes it a 4-run game. As Jung picks up his 8th RBI of the season, which leads the team. Count 1-0 on Smith as he hits that in the air to center. Going back is Davis. He's under it, and that will do it. 2 more runs for the Rocks here in the top of the 6th. It's 7-3. They lead the Blues here on the beat. Bristol Blues Broadcast Network.
A show for the fans by the fans. Coming to Foxwoods Resort Casino June 10th and 11th. 2 exciting days of celebrities and talented comic book artists. Meet Hellboy's Ron Perlman and Gaten Matarazzo from Stranger Things. Ryan Hurst from Sons of Anarchy. Luke Cage's Theo Rossi. Ray Park and Spencer Wiley from Star Wars. Big Bang Theory's Kevin Sussman. Wrestling Hall of Famers Ric Flair, Amy Dumas, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Brutus Beefcake. And more. Join us for costume contests, Kids Con, and Star Wars trivia. Tickets are on sale now.
Welcome back to the Beat Bristol Blues Broadcast Network. 7-3 Rocks lead the Blues as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Come watch the top collegiate players in the FCBL All-Star Game Tuesday, July 18th, right here at Muzzy Field. You will enjoy some kid games, baseball activities, and a great selection of food and drinks. Tickets are currently available at bristolbluesstore.com or at the Blues retail store at 357 North Main Street.
As we mentioned earlier, that's only a couple days after that food truck festival.
Yes, you could get a lot of food at the truck and then come back a couple days later and watch the top athletes in this league of New England at the All-Star Game.
Drake Titus back on for his 2nd full inning of work in relief of Matt Fogarty. Titus in the 5th inning allowed a run on a hit he walked to and struck out to after getting the first 2 outs. Kind of like Halpin in the top of the 6th. Very similar, getting the first 2 outs and then allowing a couple base runners, and then things spiraled out of control from there.
Yeah, tough day behind the plate again for Zbierski. 4 by him. And you can't allow the Rocks to score any more than they have already because that offense is loaded and they could put a dent in their next at-bat in the 7th.
Well, Blues will try to come back in this one as they trail by 4. Ben Maycock will lead it off here in the 6th for the Blues as the breaking ball from Titus misses outside, ball 1. Maycock on the evening drove home a run on the fielder's choice here in the 1st inning and struck out swinging as he takes that one low. Struck out swinging in the fourth. Count 2-0 now on Maycock.
If you're Titus right here, don't lose him. Don't walk the leadoff hitter to begin this inning here in the bottom of the sixth.
2-0 from the Army pitcher. Fastball at the knees, strike one. Blues looking for offense. And that one is in the dirt, 3-1. A leadoff walk would help them with that. And now Smith goes to talk out to the mound to talk with Titus, saying, hey, look, we're up by 4. We just scored 5 runs over the past 2 innings. Let's not give them life.
Right. And that could easily be done with a walk and a team that is familiar with coming back a couple times this year.
3-1 on the way to the Blues left fielder. And he lost him anyway, down and in, ball 4. So a good start for the Blues as they look to chip into that lead here in the 6th.
And you know, Rick, that the Blues have the confidence to come back at any time in this game because we saw it yesterday, we've seen it before. So even down by 4 here in the 6th, they know and they believe that they could come back in this game and win their 4th straight.
Bring up the right fielder, Brandon Grover. Grover is 0 for 2. With a ground out. That one misses down and in. A ground out and a strikeout.
Have a tough time finding the strike zone.
1-0 pitch, check swing. He did not go, said the field umpire, and the count 2-0. That was the 30th pitch of the game for Titus since coming in. 2-0 on the way. Down and in, ball 3. And I'm sure it's not what the Rocks are looking for. Oh, that was actually called a strike. 2-1.
Late call by the umpire there.
Pitch is lying down the right field line, foul. Count even at 2-2. So earlier we talked about this day in baseball history. Another thing that happened this day in baseball history in 2009, Daniel Nava, the Red Sox, first pitch he's ever seen as a major leaguer, hit a grand slam. That one misses high and away, ball 3.
You know what? I did see that live. It was on Fox.
Only the second player in Major League history ever to do that. The first being Kevin Kuzminoff. Always loved the alliteration of that name.
The former Padre.
Back in 2004. Swing and a miss. Grover down on strikes. And 1 away. First strikeout for Titus since entering the game. Second time Grover has struck out. As one of each. One looking and one swinging. That'll bring up Zbierski.
Who was struck out twice tonight as well.
Line off the glove of Titus, trickles over to second base. He'll pick it up, throw to first, and get the catcher. It's that kind of night for him. Hit one right on the screws, but knocked down by the pitcher before it got into center field. So between that and the 2 throwing errors, pass balls, it's been a tough night for the Blues catcher.
Yeah, you can't ask for more of that hit. I mean, he hit the ball hard right off the catcher, but just went right back to him. Made the throw to first. And now there's 2 outs, but still a chance for the Blues to get at least 1 run if Pileski could drive in Maycock.
So Maycock is at second with 2 out. And as Mark mentioned, that'll bring up Kyle Pileski. Titus sets at the chest, the leg kick, and the throw. Breaking ball, good pitch, and the count 0-1. Pileski 0 for 2, struck out looking in the second. And he fouled out to the first baseman, Simon. That came in the 5th. 0-1 popped up. Looks like Simon might have another play on this one. This one in fair territory, and that will retire the side. After 6 full innings of play, 7-3 Rocks here on the beat, the Bristol Blues Broadcast Network.
The CV Mason Insurance Agency is a local, family-owned, independent insurance agency whose goal is to provide you with the best possible coverage at the best possible price. Their fully licensed staff will provide you the customer service you deserve. CV Mason, 254 Main Street, Bristol, insuring families and businesses since 1883. So rest assured, they aren't going anywhere. 860-583-4127. Online at cvmasoninsurance.com. CV Mason, there when you need them.
And we are back here at Muzzy Field on the beat as the Rocks have a 7-3 lead over the Bristol Blues here in the top of the seventh. And that was an opportunity there for the Blues to get at least one run across in the sixth, Rick, but they couldn't do it as Pileski popped out to end the inning.
Yeah, they got a runner over at second base, thinking you might be able to make this a 3-run game, but it was not to be for the Blues that half of the inning. So they'll try to get Halpin. They'll try to hold them scoreless. You can't allow them to get any more if you want to try to make a comeback in this one.
And we'll once again take a look at the FCBL scoreboard for tonight. In the top of the ninth inning, the Vineyard Sharks lead the Mavericks 6-3. In the bottom of the eighth, the Dirt Dogs rallied and now lead the Pittsfield Suns 7-6. And now in the bottom of the seventh, the North Shore Navigators lead the Worcester Bravehearts 8-2. As the Navigators, Rick, are 9 outs away from ending their 7-game losing streak.
We know how that feels once you end the losing streak, how great that feeling is.
Top of the seventh, 7-3 Rocks in front. And Joe Sylvia is up at the plate. And the first pitch. And did he get hit? No, he did not. And the count's 1-0.
He tried to get a good acting job in there.
Yeah, you got to act a little bit there. Get on first.
Wouldn't say it was Oscar worthy.
The 1-0 pitch line to short. And did he snag it? Yes, he did. Nice play by Fresca. And there's one away.
Again, tried to act his that ball hit the ground. Nebraska went down to a knee and just able to pick it off before it hit any sort of turf.
And now Tremont Spears steps up to the plate. And the first pitch is outside 1-0. Spears' first start of the season for the Rocks this year. And the second pitch is called a strike, 1-1.
Spears got on the painful way his second time up.
The 1-1 pitch is outside, 2-1. Don't think the pitcher liked the call there.
Unlike his buddy who just preceded him, Silva, who did not get hit by the pitch.
The 2-1 pitch is lined to right field for a base hit.
That's a definitely less painful way to get on first base.
So Spears gets his first hit of the season into right field. And now bring up Tommy O'Hara, the third baseman. Stepping up for 1 out here in the seventh. And Rick, I would not be surprised if Spears goes early, considering the night that Zabierski has had.
Well, if you're the Rocks, they're only up by 4, so there's still one swing of the bat. Blues are still one swing of the bat away.
And the first pitch fouled back, and the count's 0-1.
From possibly tying this game. So it would be, you would think that they would try to keep running against them, and Halpin knows that as he checks them at first.
And Kyle Ruth on deck for the Rocks. Count 0-1, 1 out, top 7. Rocks lead the Blues 7-3. The check again at first base. Back safely. But definitely keeping a close eye on Spears. Don't want to get him to second base with an opportunity for O'Hara to drive him in. And here's the 0-1 pitch. Low and inside, 1-1.
Now, as much as a tough at bat as it must be facing Halpin as a right-handed hitter, he comes right in your wheelhouse if you're a left-handed hitter. They have to probably watch that slider, as that will just dive and hit you in the ankle.
1-1 pitch is lined to left center field, and Davis will make the catch. in center for the second out. As you saw Ben Maycock there slide, but the catch is made by Davis. That could have been dangerous, Rick.
That's the center fielder's ball. If the center fielder ever says at any point, I got it, you get out of the way. Probably one way to get out of the way. That's probably not the best way to try to get out of the way. Diving next to the guy who's trying to make the catch. But it worked out.
The first pitch to Ruth. Let's call it a strike. Maybe he just wants to add a little more effect to the play. Dive in last second.
The effect was almost sliding into your own guy and preventing him from making a catch.
And the 0-1 pitch is grounded back to the mound off the glove of Halpin. And there's no play will be made. So now there's 2 on, 2 out. And we go back to the top of the order. And Dejan.
Well, again, we've mentioned it many times, and we've heard it many times. It's hard as a pitcher when a ball comes right back at you to try to not field it. And Halpin went for it, went off his glove. If he let it go, Guillon probably has a chance.
And Spears goes to third there, and the throw, plenty of time. So Spears took a chance to go to third base, did not make it. And that will end the inning. So we'll be back for the bottom of the 7th as the Rocks lead the Blues 7-3 here on the Beat, Bristol Blues Broadcast Network.
Sometimes we make mistakes in our lives, and you may require a bail bondsman. Joe from Fernari Bail Bonds will bond you out with fast, professional service. He'll treat you with the respect and dignity you deserve. No bond is too big or too small. So when you're in trouble, give Fernari Bail Bonds a call, and Joe will get you through your most difficult situation. Joe is not only your bail bondsman, he's also your friend. Attorney referrals are available. Call Fernari Bail Bondsman at 860-919-3129. Payment plans are available, and all major credit cards are accepted. Joe's the man to get you out of a jam. Go to BristolBeat.com's ad directory, search keyword bail bonds.
And we are back here at Muzzy Field in the bottom of the 7th inning as the Blues will look to rally here down by 4 against the Brockton Rocks.
And not a good decision by Spears. Trying to go to third on the wild pitch. Now, Spearsky has had trouble throwing the ball, so you can understand it, but the ball didn't get that far away from him like the other ones have. So, kind of an odd decision for make the last out at third base.
Yeah, you never want to make the third out at third. Maybe he thought the ball got a little more by him, but not a good chance there by Spears. And hopefully for their sake, it doesn't come back to bite them as Max Guillon will lead off for the Blues here in the bottom of the 7th.
Max Guillon has had a pretty good game out in the field today.
Couple nice defensive plays. Flashing the leather once again. And the first pitch is up high. 1-0.
Still trying to get through offensively, which he has yet to do yet.
And here's the 1-0 pitch. Down low. And the count's 2-0.
But when you have a guy that's so good defensively, especially in an important position like second base, hard to take him out of the lineup. So that's why he's still in there.
And the 2-0 pitch is called a strike. 2-1.
Guillon today 0 for 2. It's grounded out to short and struck out swinging.
And here's a 2-1 pitch on the way. Swung out a miss. Strike 2. So Tyler's still in there for the Rocks here in the 7th.
Enter the game in the 5th. Innings 5, 6, and now 7.
2-2 pitches foul back.
That pitch was fouled right back to the screen here. I was gonna make a dive for you.
Oh, thanks. Looking out for me. Thank you, sir.
I have a lot to do with. We have papers and spots we have to read and stats that we have to look up.
Everything in front of us. Sunglasses everywhere.
So I would have thrown myself in front of you.
Oh, thank you. 2-2 pitches up high. Our 20-year friendship coming up pretty soon.
This is what you do when you don't need somebody for 20 years.
Here's the 3-2 pitch in the dirt, and that's exactly what the Blues needed to kick off the 7th. So Guillon walks, and that will turn the lineup back over to the leadoff hitter, the center fielder Chris Davis, who has stole 2 bases here tonight.
Chris Davis, one of those guys that just seems to get things done.
And
we'll certainly made that happen today.
And we'll see a mound visit coming to calm down Titus. As there is some action in the Rocks bullpen, so we'll see if a move is made here and try to calm down the 5'9" righty,
who was already at 50 pitches since coming in the 5th inning.
That's a lot for a relief pitcher.
A lot for a relief pitcher, especially for a relief pitcher who's thrown. This is his 3rd full inning of work. He's not yet recorded an out here in the 7th.
And we know that he will not be used for a few days after this outing.
Most likely not. And it seems as though the Rocks have both mounds working out in the bullpen out down the right field line.
Yeah, I believe they do as well.
And the Blues also had their bullpen joeing just a second ago. Someone just sat back down.
First pitch of Davis has popped up. We'll see who calls it. It's the third baseman waiting for it, and he makes the catch. Didn't look easy for a second, but the catch is made by O'Hara. So Davis pops out, and I'll bring up Jake Frasco with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th.
When you're a guy like Chris Davis, you're kind of guy who's a line drive, keep the ball on the ground type hitter. And that kind of swing did not scream that I'm trying to get the ball on the ground or hit a line drive. He took a big, healthy cut at that one.
And now we will see a pitching change. So we'll be back in a few minutes here as the Rocks lead the Blues 7-3 here on the bottom of the 7th on the beat, Bristol Blues Broadcast Network.
Spring is here, and so is the warmer weather. Are your tires ready to take on the road this spring? If you're in the market for tires and wheels, talk to the experts at Tire Depot. They have a huge inventory of tires from Cooper, Michelin, and Bridgestone. Tire Depot's friendly staff offers fast and reliable service Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 860-584-0225. Go visit them on Missile Avenue in Bristol or log on to their website at tiredepotct.com. Tire Depot, Central Connecticut's first choice for tires.
And we are back here at Muzzy Field in the bottom of the 7th inning as your Bristol Blues trail the Brockton Rocks 7-3. And we see a pitching change. And on the mound for the Rocks is number 21.
David Griffin, the 6'1", 190-pound right-hander from Hanover, Massachusetts, who was teammates with tonight's starting pitcher for the Rocks, Matt Fogarty. Teammates with him at Curry College.
The Colonels.
So Curry seems like the Curry pitchers curry a lot of favor with the Rocks, as this is their second Curry pitcher and their second reliever coming into the game.
And they also have James Mello as well, number 37, who was a freshman this past year at Curry. So 3 pitchers from Curry playing for the Rocks.
Speaking of Curry, NBA Finals are tonight. Game 5 of that series. You think the Warriors close this one out?
I would say they will tonight. I think so. They'll get that victory. They'll bounce back from last year. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 200-point score tonight, considering what happened last game.
Well, that's going to be if the Warriors don't close this out at home, and it's a 3-2 lead, things get really interesting over the final. You know that's going to go 7 games at that point.
Well, look what happened last year, where the Warriors were up 3-1. They were playing well. Everything was in their favor. And then we saw what happened with Draymond Green, missed Game 5. And look how that changed the rest of the series. Busy night, though. Blues baseball, MLB draft, and Game 5 of the NBA Finals. And the first pitch is called a strike to Frasco.
This is Griffin's 3rd appearance of the season. Last pitched on June 8th against the Sharks.
And the 1-0 pitch, foul back, first base side, out of play.
On the season, 2 games, an inning and a third pitched. Has allowed 1 hit, but has walked 3. Has also struck out 3. Gave up a run in his first appearance of the season, June 3rd against the Mavericks.
And the 0-2 pitch up high. And what was that I see? In the first start, he walked 3 batters.
Walked 3 batters in his first appearance of the season out of the bullpen. Allowed 3 walks out of 4 batters that he faced.
And the Blues are definitely looking for that right now as the 1-2 pitch is lined to right center field. Will that drop in? It will for a base hit. So Frasca gets a hit. And now the Blues are looking to add some runs as they're down 7-3. And now bring a Mitch Gilmet.
Tough read for Goyon at first base. That could have looked like it was going to hold up just long enough out in right center for one of the outfielders to get it. But it dropped in, so he just moves up 1 base.
And that brings up Gilmet, Rick, who has 2 RBIs already tonight and looking for more.
Just to put a little bow on Drake Titus, his line is not yet complete since Goyon is his responsibility at second base, but 2 innings plus, 3 strikeouts, 1 hit.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Gilmet, line to left field, coming in the Spears, and that ball will drop in for a hit. So the bases are now juice as Goyon holds at third. Frasca is at second, and now Gilmet's at first, and now the tying run will step up to the plate at Jeff Schoenfeld. So Spears came in that play. I thought he was going to make the play, but the ball drops in front of him, and the Blues look to add some runs here.
Slowed up like he was going to. Looked like he was going to make the catch, and the ball dropped probably a couple feet in front of him as he ran toward the left field line. Just like that, 2 straight singles that drop in front of outfielders, and the bases are loaded and 1 out.
And the first pitch to Schoenfeld. Up high, 1-0. And the bullpen's still getting loose out there for the Rocks.
Schoenfeld today is 1 for 3, has a single and has struck out twice.
Here's the 1-0 to Schoenfeld. In the dirt, 2-0.
Things are getting ugly really quick for Griffin.
Yeah, coming in, not throwing strikes. And that's the worst thing you want out of a guy coming out of the bullpen, not finding the strike zone and giving the Blues some life here in the 7th, a team, like we mentioned before, who has come back the last couple of games.
And on the other side of the ball, and that when you talk about Schoenfeld, you wait for your pitch. That's the pitcher who's struggling, not you.
The 2-0 pitch is called a strike, and it counts 2-1 as Ben Maycock is on deck.
So now he showed you the curveball to drop in on 2-1. Now you're ready. Now you can look in, think a fastball, and you could probably set on location. But if you don't see anything but a fastball, don't swing at it.
And a 2-1 pitch. Up high, almost hit him, and it counts 3-1. As the crowd's getting into it, Rick.
Blues can make this a 3-run game if Schoenfeld is walked. And I think it makes things pretty interesting.
3-1 pitch, Griffin to Schoenfeld. Swung on, fouled back.
Got a good pitch.
That was right there for him, and he fouled it back.
Got a good pitch that he liked. Just a little late on the fastball, and he fouled it first base side toward the bleachers.
So now do you go back to that curveball here on 3-2? I believe he will.
You don't want to get beat by your second best pitch, though. In a 3-2 pitch, you may just want to go at him.
And the 3-2 pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3, and down goes Schoenfeld for the second out of the inning.
So he did go at him, went at him with a fastball. And a good location, too, down and away.
Hey, we saw a guy make a mistake many years ago on throwing his second or third pitch, Mark Wohlers, to Jim Leyritz.
We certainly did, and he, of all the pitches he could have thrown, throwing Jim Leyritz a slider after throwing 100 miles an hour, certainly not a good idea. So he went this time, though. He didn't. Griffin did not make that mistake and instead threw him the fastball.
And now Maycock tries to give the Blues some runs here, and the first pitch is a strike. So Blues definitely don't want to waste this opportunity with a chance to not get any runs on the board.
I remember that very well, that Mark Wohlers home run. I ended up pitching for the Yankees until like 2001.
2001, he was on the roster. Yes, he was. And the 0-1 pitch, low, 1-1. Oh, yeah, him, with Rollers, and then Armando Benitez made a quick stint with the Yankees.
Yeah, a couple of former guys who were Yankee adversaries in the playoffs. Ended up joining them. I remember Armando Benitez joined them in 2003.
1-1 pitch. Oh, nice breaking ball for strike two. I don't think Maycock liked the call there.
Maycock turned and shook his right hand a little bit. I was to say, hey, not entirely sure where that one was a strike. Not exactly something you want to do with an umpire, but.
And the 1-2 pitch from Griffin. Swung on a miss as he shows some emotion on the mound. What a job by Griffin. Strikes out Shane Felt as well as Maycock. So we'll come back to the top of the eighth as the Rocks lead the Blues 7-3 on the beat. Bristol Broadcast Network.
Heck no. So don't let them graduate high school unprepared for the real world. This program introduces a student to themselves, unlocking their full potential, help your kids find their gift, leading to a successful life. Classes are available locally and nationwide. Sign up your student today, ages 10 and older. For more information, call 860-309-0182 or visit bristolbeat.com, add directory, keyword, work it. Let work it help you.
And we are back here at Muzzy Field in the top of the eighth inning as your hometown Bristol Blues trail the Brockton Rocks 7-3.
And a great job of pitching by Griffin in the bottom of the seventh. Bases loaded, 1 out after 2 straight bloop hits. Back-to-back strikeouts of Schanfeld and Maycock. And he went with the fastball. He got ahead with breaking balls and ended them with fastballs. And if you have breaking balls that can set up the fastball, it just makes the fastball look even faster and tougher to catch up to.
Yeah, he went with the heater there, not messing around, and blew it right by Maycock and showed some emotion on the mound. You like to see that and got out of the inning, and that was a great opportunity for the Blues to at least cut the deficit a little bit closer in their favor, but could not do the job. So now all you can ask for the Blues bullpen is to keep the game right here and don't let this hot offense do any more damage in the run column. So now top of the eighth inning, and leading off for the Brockton Rocks is Aldridge DeJohn leading off for the team. And the first pitch call is strike. And the 0-1 pitch inside 1-1. One pitch is fouled. First base side out of play, and the count's 1-2. 7-3 Rocks lead, top 8, and here's the 1-2 pitch. Outside and high. 2-2, Chris Berry on deck, who has 2 hits on the night. One in the 5th and one in the 6th. The 2-2 pitch is popped up. Frasca is looking at it. Now coming in is Maycock and he drops the ball in left field. So the miscues continue for the Blues as DeJohn goes to second.
So that is another error. 4th error of the game now for the Blues. That's tough. Tough to win any ball games when you're making 4 errors in a game.
Especially if you're Maycock, you just struck out with the bases loaded, and then the first hitter hits one to you, and you just drop it. Should have had it. 4th error for the Blues on the night. As Chris Berry is now up, and the first pitch is grounded foul, first base side, and the count's 0-1.
And more importantly, a 2-base error as he gets to second base. And when you already trail by 4, you don't want any more runs to score, especially with someone as fast as DeJohn.
And DeJohn ran fast out of the box, put his head down, and the second pitch is a strike, and the count's 0-2 as the Rocks lead the Blues 7-3 here in the top of the 8th.
And there is a right-hander warming up in the Blues bullpen. It looks like the right-hander Dakota Sitar.
The 0-2 pitch outside 1-2. From Somers, Connecticut, number 32.
So he may be coming in if Halpin can't get through the top of the 8th.
1-2 pitch is outside 2-2. The home run man, Kyle Simon, the first baseman, number 3 hitter, on deck, waiting patiently for his chance to drive in the 8th run of the ball game. And the 2-2 pitch, swung on a miss, strike 3. Big pitch there, and that's the first out of the inning.
First strikeout of the game for Halpin. Only the 4th overall by the Blues today. Steele only struck out 3 in 5 innings, and Halpin's gone the last 2 and a third, and that was his first strikeout.
So Halpin tries to keep the game 7-3 here, despite the miscue in left field by Ben Maycock, as Simon is up, and the first pitch is called a strike. And it counts 0-1.
Simon has been a pain in the Blues side today.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, swung on, fouled back, 0-2. So it counts 0-2 on Simon, as Daniel Jung, the DH, is on deck. And the pitch is swung on and belted to right field for a base hit. And Dejan is coming around, and the throw is not in time. So Simon gets the RBI single. Dejan scores, and the Rocks increase their lead 8-3.
And as I mentioned, Simon has been a pain in the neck, and he hurts him again. As Simon says, give me another RBI, as that is his 3rd RBI of the game. Hit a 2-run home run earlier. Has scored 3 times today.
And first pitch is inside, 1-0.
So 3 for 4, home run, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored, and a walk for Kyle Simon.
What a day. And the pitch is fouled third base side out of play. That's a big run right there, because now a grand slam does not tie the game.
And it makes the Blues, if they are going to come back, work even harder for this one. And it's still only 1 out here in the top of the 8th.
An opportunity for the Rocks to increase their lead. And the 1-1 pitch is called a strike, as we see the catcher on deck once again with those pads on.
Just in case. Just in case of a double play.
And the 1-2 pitch. Swung
That's
in
not a double play.
And line deep to right field. Going back as right fielder, and he makes the catch as he throws it back in for the second out. Nice play in right field by Grover. And there's 2 outs as Smith steps up to the plate.
That's one heck of a play by Brandon Grover. I thought that ball might not have gotten out, maybe have gone into the corner. But dead sprint, ran to his spot, looked up, and the ball was there. And he made a great running catch for the second out of the inning.
So now Halpin tries to get Ricky Smith out here, as the Blues are 6 outs away from snapping their 3-game winning streak. And the first pitch is low and outside, 1-0. As Joe Sylvia, who drove in an RBI back in the 6th, is on deck. The 1-0 pitch, Halpin working fast, and that's called a strike. And it counts 1-1.
Halpin has definitely proved he can give the Blues innings. That's for sure.
1-1 pitch, slow, off-speed pitch, and it counts 1-2. So at least he's giving us some length, Rick.
Absolutely, and if it wasn't for the errors, he's given up 3 runs. None of them have been earned.
The 1-2 pitch is popped. Third base side, does he have a chance? No, he does not. And the count's 1-2.
So Halpin is thrown at this point.
The 1-2 pitch, swung on and hits to left field. Maycock is right there, and he'll make that catch as the inning is over. So the Rocks add a run in the top of the 8th and lead the Blues 8-3 here on the Beat. Bristol Blues Broadcast Network.
Being arrested and charged with a crime is frightening and stressful. It is important to remain silent until you can speak with an attorney who knows how to protect you. At the law offices of Jody Zills Gagny, I take pride in smart and proactive criminal defense. I will guide you through the legal system and diligently pursue the best possible result within the framework of the law to get the charges dismissed, negotiate on your behalf, or fight for you at trial. Before you talk to anyone, call attorney Jody Zills Gagny at 860-582-4495 or go to the ads directory at bristolbeat.com and search keyword Jody, that's Jody with an I, for the law offices of Jody Zills Gagny.
Welcome back to The Beat, the Bristol Blues Broadcast Network. There's lots of ways to come see the Blues or hear the Blues. To reserve your tickets for the 2017 Blues season, please call 860-582-BLUE. That's 860-582-2583. You can also visit bristolbluesbaseball.com for ticket options that are available and additional information on party packages. So don't forget that number again if you want to call instead of go to bristolbluesbaseball.com. That number again is 860-582-BLUE, 860-582-2583.
And Rick, the Bristol Blues have so many games coming up this week. They'll be back at home on Wednesday against the Bravehearts at 7. And they have a quick turnaround on Thursday as they take on the Navigators at 1:30. And then back here on Sunday against the same Brockton Rocks team at 6 on Father's Day. But don't worry, if you can't make it over here in the Muzzy, catch every home game of the Bristol Blues, the city's very own baseball team, on the beat. Bristol's Rock Mix, Bristol Blues baseball on the beat is truly a winning combination.
The Bristol Blues here in this one will have to face a new pitcher here in the bottom of the 8th. It's the right-hander John Saviano, the right-hander from Sloatsburg, New York. He's 6'1", 230 pounds. He's made 3 appearances so far this season, so this will be his 4th. In those 3 appearances, he's pitched an inning and 2/3, has walked 1 as he's not allowed a hit, and has struck out 1. His first 2 appearances on June 2nd against the Dirt Dogs and June 9th against the Navigators faced 1 batter each and retired both of them. First appearance that was more than 1 batter was June 10th, just a couple of days ago against the Sharks in a 13-4 win. Won an inning, walked 1.
And he's attending New Jersey Institute of Technology and will be entering his senior year. So looking to come in here, work quickly, as they are 6 outs away from increasing their winning streak to 4 in a row, as Brandon Grover leads off for the Blues here in the bottom of the 8th as the Rocks lead by 5, 8-3. And the first pitch is called a strike, and the count's 0-1.
And Mark, let's see if you can notice the theme here. What does Saviano have on that I've pointed out earlier in this game that other people do?
Was got the high socks.
Stirrups.
I love it. Must be a theme on the team for the 2017 season. That pitch is outside.
Lots of stirrups. Right now you have Simon at first base with stirrups, O'Hara at third with stirrups. Now the pitcher Saviano with stirrups. He's the second pitcher with stirrups in this game. That's a lot of stirrups for a college team.
Yeah, they get the chemistry going. Very close unit here for the Rocks. As that pitch, breaking ball, strike number 2 on Grover, as Josh Zerberski, the catcher, is on deck. The 1-2 pitch coming to Grover from Saviano.
Saviano sets up with the ball hiding behind his back and his glove in his face.
And the 1-2 pitch to Grover. Swung on, foul back. And the count's 1-2. We'll do it all over again.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of the motion. Kind of reminds me a little bit, speaking of the 96 World Series.
Okay.
John Wetland.
Okay, I can see that for sure. Ground ball to short. And he bobbles it. And he's going to have no play as Grover beats it out. So it was mishandled there by the shortstop, Kyle Ruth, and allows Grover to reach first. As there goes the first error of the night for the Rocks, so maybe that can help the Blues get something going here in the 8th.
That's the 5th error overall in this game, but just the first for the Rocks.
And it's a sloppy night overall for both teams. As Zaburski steps up at the plate, and the first pitch on the way is called a strike.
Zwierski's had a rough night. Obviously, 2 errors behind the plate. Pass ball that's led to a run. And at the dish, he has struck out twice and hit a line drive back at the pitcher that hit him in the glove. And he was out 1-3. So it's been a rough night for him so far.
The 0-1 pitch, called a strike, 0-2. But this is a perfect chance for him to really help the Blues try to rally here in the 8th. Down by 5 and down to the last 6 outs of the night. And swung on and missed, strike 3. And down goes Zaburski for his 3rd strike of the night.
And he swung through that one and kind of looked up at the sky momentarily, and you could see it in his face going, it's just not my night.
And I bring up Kyle Pileski, who is up now for the Blues with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th.
Pileski has struck out and has popped up to first twice, once in foul territory and last time was in fair territory.
And the first pitch he shows bunt, pulls it back, and the count's 0-1.
Well, he's not bunting for a sacrifice there. At that point, you're just trying to possibly bunt for a hit if the third baseman is back, just to try to see if you can get on base. At this point, it makes no sense to bunt down by 5 when you got down to your last 5 outs.
Oh, yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. Swing the bat, get on base, and let's see if something happens here for the Blues with 5 outs to go. And the 0-1 pitch, foul back 0-2. Now, what does Kyle Pileski say his favorite baseball memory is? Hitting a grand slam against Bridgewater State. It's a big moment for Pileski in his young baseball career.
You know what else is odd? Seeing somebody who has a favorite major league team, but then lists his favorite major league player, and his favorite major league player is not on that team.
Evan Longoria of the Tampa Bay Rays.
And yet he says his favorite team is the Boston Red Sox.
The 0-2 pitch to Pileski, swung on a miss, strike 3. So down goes Pileski for the 2nd out of the inning, and I bring in the second baseman, Max Goyon.
Kind of rare that you hear that, to say, I like this team, but not list a guy from that team to be your favorite player.
Well, you know what? The way the Red Sox have had no help at third base all season, if Longoria was on a different, if Longoria was not on the Rays, maybe they would make a move for him at the deadline.
You make an excellent point.
And the first pitch to Goyon is low. That's why you hear about possibly Mike Moustakas joining the Red Sox come July, as the Royals seem to be out of it and have so many free agents coming up next off season. And the 1-0 pitch coming from Saviano is called a strike, 1-1.
Blues have their bullpen working again. Another right-hander.
Any guesses out there? Any guesses?
Well, he looks like a tall right-hander from here, but from here, everybody looks like a tall right-hander.
Yeah, they do.
Meanwhile, over in the Rocks bullpen on the opposite side of the field, that all there is quiet.
Max Goyon, a Yankees fan. Favorite player? Someone like that Rick likes as well, Jorge Posada.
Oh, see, right there. So I'm right there with you.
1-1 pitch, swung on the miss, strike 2.
It seems like Saviano, with the way he throws, you're expecting the big, hard fastball, and when you don't get it, it can make you look foolish. If the pitch is slow enough and in a decent... that pitch it looked like a hanging slider, but because he's just throwing it so hard, it looks like...
They can't react.
He was way out in front of it.
And here's the 1-2 pitch to Goyon, is up high. 2-2. As Saviano looks to strike out the side here in the bottom of the 8th. Got Zaburski, got Pileski, and looking to get Goyon for the 3rd out.
Goyon 0 for 2 so far. Grounded out to short, struck out swinging, and he walked his last time up. That was in the 7th.
The 2-2 pitch Foul back, first base side, and we'll do it again. Count 2-2. 2 outs, bottom 8. Rocks have an 8-3 lead over the Blues, who have committed 4 errors on the night.
That's an ugly-looking line score. 8-13-1 for the Rocks, 3-6-4 for the Blues.
And I'm pretty sure the miscues will be a hot topic on the post-game show if the result seems the same as it looks like it's going to be. 2-2 pitch up high.
So that releases the runner Grover at first. See if you can find a gap somewhere. Find a gap, possibly make this in a 4-run game again.
And the man who has 8 steals on the season, the speedster, Chris Davis, on deck, looking for a chance. As Saviano is ready to deliver the 3-2 pitch. And there goes Goyon. The 3-2 pitch is in the dirt. So Goyon walks. Pilecki's at second. And here comes Chris Davis looking for a chance to make this game a little closer for the Blues.
You know what I noticed while Goyon was up? They were, for the first time, I noticed that they were playing a shift, a slight shift in the outfield.
Was it Joe Madden? Is he man?
It was a very slight shift where the center fielder DeJong was shifted well into right center field. There was a big gap in center field and left center field. So obviously they're thinking probably with 2 strikes he's going to go the other way, but instead he works a walk. And Blues have a chance here with first and second, 2 out, to try to get some runs.
And the first pitch on the way to Chris Davis. 1-0. So, Rick, you mentioned the NBA Finals before. Just a quick update. No surprise. First quarter ends. The Cavs are up 37-33. LeBron James scored 12 points. And the Cavs just shot 62% from the field.
So, in other words, business as usual.
Yep.
No defense and lots of points.
And that's been the theme all year in the NBA. 1-0 pitch is up high, 2-0. As now the catcher, Smith, looks to go out to talk to Saviano to try to work with him to get this last out in the inning, because he has made this a lot more interesting than it should be.
Davis is 1 for 3. Single, stole a base, and scored around the first. Fouled out to the catcher, Smith, in the third. Walked, stole another base, and scored in the fifth. And he popped up to third in the seventh.
Jake Frasca on deck for the Blues. And here's the 0-2 delivery. Inside, gets behind Smith, and the runners move up. So Pilecki's on third. Goyon's on second. Davis at the plate in the 3-0 count. And there's no way that he has a green light here. You got to be taken all the way.
So that likely should be a passed ball.
Yeah, catcher's having a tough time tonight, whether it's Zaberski or Smith.
You know, on a hot night out there, it's tough wearing all that equipment. And
pitches up high. It gets by Smith once again, as we just mentioned it. Here comes Pilecki. He scores. Goyon goes to third. Davis is at first. So just when we mentioned about the catchers having an off night, it gets by Smith, and that brings up Jake Frasca as the Blues trail 8-4.
yeah, he just reached up and just didn't go for it. Full commitment. He just reached up. The ball was high. He just reached up and went off the tip of his glove and went on through. And it almost seemed like he forgot for a second that there was a guy on third. So he started off just trotting after it slowly, then realized, oh, there's a guy on third. He's going to score. But by the time he realized his mistake, a run had already scored.
And we'll see a pitching change on the way as the manager's coming to the mound. Or at least we'll see a mound visit at first. Maybe there'll be a switch. Trying to settle down the righty.
There is someone working out there now, because now it's an 8-4 game.
It looks like he's going to stick with him on the mound. trying to work with him to get this last out here in the bottom of the 8th, as the umpire will eventually start going to the mound to break up this visit.
Definite stall tactics. He's gotten probably 6 or 7 extra throws thanks to this trip to the mound.
Yeah, nice long conversation. Trying to calm down the righty. As Frasca is ready to go. As the Blues right now have the same amount of runs as they do errors.
Probably asking him while he was out there if he was coming to the food truck festival here on the 15th and 16th.
That's right. Everyone's thinking about it. It's out there. And now we might see a visit. And the move is made by the manager, Skelly. So Saviano will leave where the runner is on first and third, 2 outs. Rocks up 8-4. Frasca at the plate. And now the manager is talking to the umpire, trying to get an exclamation about something. Not sure what it is. But I believe a move will be made. Not really sure what this is about, as you're still talking. Now the umpire is following.
So he has to, from what it sounds like, the chatter up here in the press box is that he has to throw a pitch before coming in to make a pitching change.
Okay.
So he's going to have to throw a pitch, and then he can take him out of the game. So he can't just make a mound visit, walk off, and then before a pitch is thrown, come out and take him out.
Now we'll see if that decision was already made, or if Saviano throws a strike, maybe that changes the manager's decision. Well, we will find out. And the first pitch to Frasca is a low, gets by Smith. Runner stays at third as Davis moves to second. And now we'll see the pitching change after that first pitch, as once again the ball got by Smith, but not enough to send the runner from home.
Yeah, tough angle for Goyon. Could not really see where the ball was. Davis reacted immediately and went to second.
And they're talking once again between the manager and the umpire. So maybe does he have to throw 2 pitches in order to get out of this inning?
Maybe he has to face the batter.
Oh, that might be what it is.
And he's getting very animated out on the mound.
Will we see an ejection from the manager? The Wheaton alum with a great resume. As they're still talking. Oh, he's getting more animated, as you mentioned.
Seems like he wants him to ask the home plate umpire, and he's not doing so.
Once we start seeing the hat maybe get thrown, this will get a little more interesting. Billy Martin-esque. Kicking the dirt.
Not at that level yet, but we'll see. Seems like he's gesturing to the home plate umpire, asking, say, hey, bring him in to ask.
It's not a good sign there from the manager.
And it seems, if I can read lips correctly, it seems like he said, if I want to take my guy out, I can take him out.
And now both umpires are talking to Tad Skelly, the native once again of Wolfsboro, New Hampshire, currently the Northwestern University assistant baseball coach.
Now, how do you feel if you're John Scaviano, going your manager's arguing to take you out of a game?
And now this won't help him at all.
And he's gone.
Ah, there you go. Now he's showing the emotions as he followed the umpire to the first base side as the home plate umpire looks to calm him down.
And they're going nose to nose. The home plate umpire will try to get him out of the way, get him back into the dugout. And he's just following him out to the mound now.
But see, if you're the pitcher here, Saviano, I would throw it to Smith, try to get loose, but he's watching his manager do all the work there with the umpire. So nice fiery emotion right there from Skelly as he gets tossed.
And Saviano's still, Skelly's still going at it with the home plate umpire now, and now he finally walks off the field.
That was pretty good. I would probably grade that a B. I want to see the hat get thrown up, but that's all right. Still pretty good.
So Saviano, I guess, is going to have to face this batter, and it's not pitch by pitch.
That must be what it is, that he has to face this batter until they can make a move and bring Next pitcher in. As the Blues set up here, second and third, 2 outs. Frasca at the plate. And the 1-0 delivery. Up high, 2-0. So this, I can see having an effect on Saviano because he was just standing around there, not throwing to the catcher.
Now the long, unexpected layoff. And he's got to deal with runners on second and third, thinking you're coming out of the game, and all of a sudden you have to get back into it.
And 2-0 pitch. Swung on the belt to center field. Going back to center field. Can he make the play? Yes, he does. Nice play out there by the center fielder, Dejon. So the Blues do get a run on the board, but that's it. And we're through 8. The Rocks have an 8-4 lead over the Blues. Here on the beat, Bristol Blues Broadcast Network.
Do you have questions about your retirement? Ameriprise Private Wealth Advisor Christopher Fry can help. With the exclusive Confident Retirement approach, you'll work together to develop a retirement roadmap to get you where you want to go. Call Christopher today at 860-621-5657. His office is located at 100 Queen Street in Southington. The Confident Retirement approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Go to bristolbeat.com ads directory, keyword retirement.
We go to the top of the ninth here at Muzzy Field on the beat, the Bristol Blues Broadcast Network. 8-4 Rocks lead the Blues in an eventful game here at Muzzy Field. It's seen a combination of 5 errors, a manager ejection, pass balls, throwing errors by the catcher, both catchers with pass balls. An odd game, and now we go to the top of the ninth. It's still a 4-run game, still a fairly winnable game. The Blues will turn to another pitcher. It's going to be the right-hander Dakota Sitar, native of Somers, Connecticut. The right-hander has pitched in 2 games so far this year. Every game he's come in, he's taken the loss in. June 1st against the Silver Knights, that was opening night. Pitched an inning, allowed a run on 4 hits, struck out 1 in the 2-0 Blues loss to the Silver Knights. Then pitched on June 8th against the Suns, took the loss that one too. Went an inning, allowed 4 hits, struck out 2, gave up 5 runs, but only 1 of which was earned. So he comes in here, he cannot lose this game. But if the Blues come back and Sitar's still on the mound after the top of the ninth, let's say the Blues score 5, he can win it, so we'll have to see.
And we do have 2 finals tonight in the FCBL scoreboard. The Martha's Vineyard Sharks defeated the Seacoast Mavericks 6-3, and the Dirt Dogs came back and beat the Suns for their 2nd consecutive loss, 7-6. And in the bottom of the ninth, it looks like the Navigators will pick up their first win of the year. They lead the Bravehearts 9-4, again, in the bottom of the ninth.
First pitch is laced into left center field. That is a base hit for leadoff hitter Joe Silva. And he goes to second. The throw gets away, but he will pull into second with a hustle double.
Keep that foot on the gas. Look for more runs. And don't let the Blues have any chance to come back in this one.
Now we got a pinch hitter for the Rocks. That is going to be Sam Cochran, native of Ocala, Florida, a freshman at Eckerd College. 5'11", 180 pounds, left-handed batter. He's pinch hitting for Draymond Spears, the left fielder.
A lot of players on this team for the Rocks representing the state of Florida, whether it's the school they attend or where they're actually from.
Pitch is a strike, 1-1. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal if you come up here for the summertime and then when you go back to school, it's still warm because you're in Florida.
Oh, that's the best. I'll take this type of weather any day of the week.
1-1 on the way to Cochran. Fastball just misses the outside corner and the count 2-1.
I'm not saying it has to be as hot as it was today, but give me 75, 80 all the time, like when you were in Florida a few weeks ago. Sign me up.
Well, you know what? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about possibly living in Florida or San Diego. That's on both of those sound good. As that one's fouled away, the count 2-2.
That's all fine with me.
Well, you're definitely not going to get that here every day. Unfortunately.
Yeah, no.
So the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes on the pinch hitter Cochran. Runner at second, nobody out. 8-4 game in the top of the ninth. Blues looking to hold it here. So when they come to bat in the bottom of the ninth, it's only a 4-run game. That one misses inside. 3-2.
I'm pretty sure that team average of the Rocks coming into tonight's game of 290 definitely will increase towards 300 with 8 runs so far and 14 hits.
3-2 to Cochran, outside ball 4. So Sitar's come in, getting up a double and now a walk with nobody out.
Now I wonder here, with Tommy O'Hara at the plate, do you bunt? I know you give him an out here, but if he successfully gets the bunt down, then you're looking at second and third, 1 out, and a chance to drive in 2.
Blues are not expecting a bunt. And he will not, at least on the first pitch, in the count 0-1.
Yeah, forget the bunt. Swing the bat, drive him in.
Well, that was a quick change of mind.
Yeah, that's right. Do some damage. Don't give up the out.
2 on, nobody out, top 9. That one, a frisbee slider, misses inside in the count 1-1.
But I guess they really want to break up this game even more and increase their lead. At least make it 9-4, a 5-run deficit for the Blues.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch, and that's a fastball outside, 2-1.
So the struggles continue for Dakota Sitar of the Bristol Blues.
Sitar has apparently always been a guy who's been a little wild. That funky motion, it's a fastball, good one there, swung through it and count 2-2. As that motion, I guess it's kind of hard to repeat the motion. Kind of, you got elbows going one way, legs going another way. Just what you're comfortable with, I suppose. Trying to navigate through a first and second nobody out jam, down by 4 in the ninth. 2-2. Taps slowly out in front of the plate. Zbierski fields, throws the first, and they got him. So that effectively works as a bunt.
That was like a bunt.
A swinging bunt right out in front of the plate. So runners move up to second and third and 1 out, and then it'll bring up the shortstop, Kyle Ruth. The Blues will not play the infield in. Now it looks like now they're coming in. First pitch swing and a miss, and they count 0-1.
Yeah, it looks like Pileski's creeping up there at first. And also the second baseman, Guillaume, as well as Frascott.
Originally they were not playing in. They were just going to play back, and then they all ran in before that first pitch. Fastball outside corner 0-2.
And Gilmet, I don't want to leave him hanging there. He's also moved in on third. Can't leave him out. He's having a good night at the plate. He's been hot. The confidence from Palmer moving him to the third spot tonight.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch, down and away, ball 1. Sitar hoping that he doesn't even get any contact on it, hopefully just able to strike him out down 1-2. Now they come way in. Now they're on the grass. At least the middle infielders are.
Almost behind the mound. Now they back up a little bit.
1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a slider. So big out for Sitar there. As the infield can now move back, and there are 2 away. We go back to the top of the order. And Aldrich DeJong, who has really been, along with Kyle Simon, been the 2 guys that have been giving Bristol the Blues here tonight.
Yeah, it caused a lot of havoc, especially Simon with that home run, 3 for 4, 3 RBI night.
First pitch, fastball outside corner, 0-1. DeJong walked in the first inning, doubled in the third, and then scored on the Simon home run. Had a single and scored in the 5th, flied out in the 6th, and reached on an error and scored in the 8th. That one's fouled straight back, 0-2.
Well, hey, if you're a leadoff guy, that's all you have to do. Get on base, set the tone for the rest of the night, which he definitely did here, and his average as well besides the team, is definitely going up because coming into tonight's game, a 409 average on the season for the center fielder.
Sitar trying to send this to the bottom of the ninth, down 4. Almost did. Fastball just missed, maybe a little high and away, in the count 1-2.
Chris Berry on deck for the Rocks.
The Blues will have their 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up in the ninth as this one's hit in the air. Deep center field. Davis going back, still going back. Looks like he's under it, and he makes the catch to end the top of the ninth. We head to the bottom of the ninth. Do the Blues have a rally in their bones? We'll see. 8-4 here on the Beat, Bristol Blues Broadcast Network.
A show for the fans by the fans. Coming to Foxwoods Resort Casino June 10th and 11th. 2 exciting days of celebrities and talented comic book artists. Meet Hellboy's Ron Perlman and Gaten Matarazzo from Stranger Things. Ryan Hurst from Sons of Anarchy. Luke Cage's Theo Rossi. Ray Park and Spencer Wiley from Star Wars. Big Bang Theory's Kevin Sussman. Wrestling Hall of Famers Ric Flair, Amy Dumas, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Brutus Beefcake. And more. Join us for costume contests, Kids Con, and Star Wars trivia. Tickets are on sale now.
We go to the bottom of the ninth here at Muzzy Field. Blues trying to come back. They trail 8-4. And they'll have to do it against the Rocks' new pitcher, Brandon Nessarella. Native of Whitman, Massachusetts. Attends Northwestern Oklahoma State. Big, tall right-hander, 6'5", 225 pounds. Throws an abbreviated sidearm motion. Take a look at his numbers. On the season so far, he's pitched in 3 games. June 1st against the Sharks, went an inning and 2/3, walked 1, struck out 2, did not allow a run or a hit. June 3rd against the Mavericks, pitched 2/3 of an inning, allowed 5 runs, all earned, 2 hits, 3 walks. And June 9th against the Navigators, went an inning, allowed a hit. All total up 3 games, 3 1/3 innings, 2 strikeouts, 4 walks, and 3 hits. And an unsightly 13.5 earned run average. And as we mentioned before, they'll have to face the middle of the Blues lineup, 3, 4, and 5, Gilmet, Schanfeld, and Maycock.
Yeah, we're hoping that his struggles continue here in the bottom of the ninth as they're down by 4. So all they need is 3 base runners to set up a potential grand slam. Sounds pretty easy, right?
A bloop, a bloop, a bloop, and a blast.
Big blast, the grand salami. They can do it, though. Listen, we talked about this before. The team has come back. They have the confidence. They trust each other in terms of the players leading to the next guy. And once again, a relief pitcher who does not throw normal.
It seems like this sidearm thing, since Chad Bradford came through with it. Well, Chad Bradford was more submarine, but since he was accepted in the funky delivery department, a lot of guys feel comfortable doing that, and it can be effective. Although you have to learn to control it.
It's been shown here a lot in the FCBL League of New England. Throughout all these teams, sidearm, left and right, doesn't matter what motion.
So he pitches from the stretch. Gilmet leads off. That's line to short. Ruth throws the first and 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth.
Nice play there by Ruth, as well as the first baseman Kyle Simon to make that play. As Gilmet swings at the first pitch, and the Blues now are 2 outs away from snapping their winning streak.
So that'll bring up Schanfeld. Schanfeld on the evening is 1 for 4, singled in the first inning, followed by 3 straight strikeouts. Looking in the 3rd and swinging in the 5th and the 7th. That one misses outside ball 1.
The Blues will be back in action tomorrow on the road against the Bravehearts. And then we'll see you again on Wednesday for 7 o'clock start.
Another one misses outside 2. Now we got Wednesday, Thursday at 1:30, and then Sunday on Father's Day at 6 o'clock.
Wild games coming up this week at Muzzy.
Although they'll try to win this one here, they still got 2 outs to work with. 2-0 count on the DH Schanfeld. Sorella deals a strike in the count 2-1.
Yeah, I made a mistake. Tomorrow they play the Dirt Dogs on the road and the Bravehearts here on Wednesday.
Fouled by the Bravehearts on Father's Day as well, correct?
On Father's Day, they're actually going to be playing the
strike.
Rocks again.
I knew we were playing some team twice.
Yep, we'll see them back again on Sunday.
2-2 the count on Schanfeld. Sorella deals foul straight back.
I can't give the people wrong information about tomorrow.
Absolutely not for the Bristol Blues.
No, so yeah, tomorrow against the Dirt Dogs, 6:35, and then back here at 7 against the Bravehearts.
2-2 pitch upcoming to Schanfeld. Here it comes. Line foul. Oh, and it hit the first base coach.
He's a tough guy, though. He's shaking it off. He's picking up the ball. Toss it.
Hit him right in the back. And the umpire will give him some time to shake that one off. Looked like it got him right in the back. Look like he turned right at the last second.
Right at the numbers.
Looks like he's okay, smiling over at first base coaching box, and we should be good to go.
Yeah, he's walking off.
Again, 2-2 the count. Off speed, pitch misses down and in, 3-2.
Ben Maycock, the left fielder, on deck.
Now, if you're a fan of old black and white video, and I mean old black and white video,
Which we are.
Sorella, 3-2 pitch coming up. That's poked in the air to right. Going back in, making the catch is the right fielder Silva, and the Blues are down to their final out. I was going to say, kind of reminds me a little bit. Maybe he throws a little slightly lower angle, but a little bit of Walter Johnson.
Who we mentioned earlier with the Hall of Fame being inducted back in 1939 on this date.
Now Walter, I think, probably was a little more sidearm. Sorella seems to go down a little more, maybe 3/4.
See, everything ties together.
Nicely. So the Blues down to their final out as Maycock fouls that one away.
Maycock was one of the Blues that made an error tonight. 1-4 on the night for the Blues.
He has struck out twice, also driven in a run, as that one misses outside, ball 1. Drove in a run in the first inning on a fielder's choice, also walked. That came in the 6th. Blues 1 out away from having their winning streak snapped. Here comes the 1-1. And a broken bat pop up to shallow right center. Anybody going to catch it? No, it drops. Maycock going for second. Will he get in? Yes, he will. So Maycock with a bloop single to center field keeps the game alive. A bloop double to center field. The game will continue. Runner at second, 2 out.
And here comes Grover. A nice little dunk action there in right field by Maycock. The ball just drops in. And now it gives Grover an opportunity to keep the line moving. For the Bristol Blues, here in the 9th, it's not over just yet.
And the hustle by Maycock, not just settling for the single, running hard, knowing that it's going to be tough play for any one of the second baseman, right fielder, or center fielder. So as Mark said, here's Grover. He is 0 for 4. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
That was one bloop. They need a few more.
2 more bloops and a blast.
That's all.
Here comes the 0-1 to Grover. Swing, foul outside of first. And the Blues down to their last strike. Grover is grounded out, struck out twice. And in the 8th inning, they reached on an error and came around to score.
The catcher, Josh Zaberski, on deck.
Runner at second, 2 out, 8-4 game. Here in the bottom of the 9th. Sorella to Grover. Swing and a miss, and that'll do it. As the Blues' winning streak is snapped, they fall to the Brockton Rocks 8-4 in this one. Blues 4-7-4 for their line score. The Rocks 8-14-1 as the errors hurt the Blues in this one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, 4 errors, way too much. You saw Maycock made that error. the catcher Zabrski all night. The pass balls, the balls in the dirt, getting away from him, and that just hurt him. That's really what it was, because they got lucky in the first inning. Steele worked out of that trouble, second and third, nobody out, but the errors came back to bite this team, and unfortunately for the hometown Blues, they take the loss here tonight against the Rocks, who have won now 4 consecutive games.
You combine errors with people that are hitting well, like Kyle Simon and Aldrich DeJong, who combined. DeJong went 2 for 5 with 3 runs scored. Simon 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs and 3 runs scored. So they scored 6 of 8 runs. So that's a tough thing to overcome when you're giving away free outs and giving away runs, and have a bunch of on-base machines like Simon and DeJong who are making things hurt for you. And both of them finished the day hitting over 400.
Yeah, and you go back to Simon, that home run back in the third, the 2-run laser shot to tie the game up at 2. And ever since then, it kind of got things going for the Brockton Rocks here tonight.
So the Blues will be back at it at home. Next game at home is on Wednesday. Next game also on here is on Wednesday against the Worcester Bravehearts. That starts at 7 o'clock. We'll be on a couple minutes before for a short pregame show, and then we'll be back for the call of that one. That's the next home game Wednesday against Worcester. If you can't make it here over to Muzzy Field, catch every home game here on the Bristol Blues Broadcast Network. Beginning with a pregame show on the beat. From all of us here at Muzzy Field, my name is Ricky Finaro, alongside my good buddy Mark Ferraro and everybody at the beat. Blues again drop this one 8-4 to the Rocks. We'll see you on Wednesday. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, Bristol.